Welcome to a special Tuesday night edition of the Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew.
Brendan.
Tim.
I'm Dave.
We're here. We've got another busy night ahead. We're going to be chatting about the latest releases from Scorpions, HammerFall, and Frankenbok. Got a few singles to get through, some topics in that as usual as well. But make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all the usual things. So details are in the description box of the episode. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, share, comment, all the usual shit that everyone gets you to do. Very, very important to us. Helps us with the algorithms as well. If you'd be so kind, check out our Patreon page in there as well. It helps us to get more done. And a big thank you, as usual, to our fantastic sponsors, including Screen Printing, Alt Cult, and Rockstar Finance. Their details, just like ours, are in the description box. Please find them, give them a like, a follow, a share. Any of that sort of stuff is greatly appreciated by us here as well. Like I was saying, there's a lot to get through tonight. So on top of the new music, got a chat about, paper shortages and bands we'd like to see tour Oz now. The borders are opening up and quotas and things. There's a whole lot to get through tonight. So we'll get to all that in a second, but let's do the rounds first. And Brendan, it's been a little while. So how you going?
Yeah, flat out. Coming out the tail end of summer, so I get back to my life again. Hopefully, post-COVID coming into winter, hopefully, a normal life. It's been 2019 since I sat in my normal seat at the footy. So bring that shit on. Hopefully, gigs, footy, normal bloody life. It's all I can bloody ask for at this point.
Cool. How about you, Tim?
Yeah, pretty good actually. Just chilling and killing. Try to stay healthy and just keep somewhat normal in this crazy world. It's amazing when you just said that. It's been 2 years since you sat in your normal seat at the footy, and that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's nearly 3 because it was 2019, so it was pre-finals 2019 where I sat in my regular seat in the footy. So
because it would have been sort of March 2020 things started to kick off.
Yeah. Because remember, round one 2020 was no crowds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was that. Yeah, it was very odd.
It was. We were the only sporting code going at that time in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nuts. How about you, Dave? How you going over there?
Yeah, I'm okay. Got some type of chest bug, or coughing, and my voice has dropped. So if I lose my voice tonight, I apologize in advance. Apart from that, work is calming down a little bit. It's been busy the last few weeks, but I'm getting back to some form of normality, which is cool. And apart from that, not much has been happening. My kids watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure for the first time.
Oh, cool.
Now Jack's giving everyone dude. They're both saying excellent. And, I'm proud.
That's awesome.
How you been, man?
Yeah, good. It's starting to finally settle down for me. Starting to, see that light at the end of the tunnel where you have the last 4 to 6 weeks been insane. It's starting to sort of, there's a bit of the day job's slowly easing off a bit, and that's okay because I've got plenty to do. There's just shitloads going on, but now it's like, just that final bit there. Last week was the final crunch. This week I'm still like, starting to breathe again. But everything's good. Nothing to complain about. Things could be a lot worse. And for those of it that are watching up in Queensland, we do have some viewers up there and in New South Wales too. Thoughts with you all up there. It's fucking crazy. And I've got family all up there. Thankfully, they're all safe. We were talking before, Brendan and I, about where the place where Jodie and myself got married a couple of years ago. That's in one of the areas that's impacted, but where they are is on a nice big hill. So they're safe for now. It looks like they've dodged the worst of it. But yeah, there's a lot of family of mine that have been impacted by it also. Anyone else that's out there and impacted by this, then yeah, thoughts definitely with you. It's a crazy, the whole thing coming into 2022, was it going to be, 2022 as a new year or 2022, the sequel kind of a thing? And it's shaping up more and more to be the fucking sequel, not the goddamn fucking new year. So I don't know. But yeah, definitely nothing to complain about at my end. So it's all good. Nude just joined us. Hi, lads. Good to see you again, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Rowan over on YouTube, giving us the horns as always. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you again. Michael on Facebook, good to see you again too, saying hey all. And here's a familiar face. Nikki, hello, cheeky lads. There you go. Nikki, you can jump in.
On.
You've got the link.
Nikki. Yeah, jump in.
Jump in.
Brendan's going to start messages soon, but yeah. And Sally's here too. Sally's gone, hey guys, good to see you,
Hey.
Sally. Thanks for joining us as always. It's a bit different for a Cheers night. We had to do things differently. I did speak of getting married a couple of years ago. Last night was the anniversary, so it was like, okay, we just took a Monday night off and decided to do it Tuesday night instead. Alrighty, so we'll save the singles for a bit later on because I don't think Brendan's got anything prepped for those ones. So we'll hold on to the singles for just a little bit longer tonight. We'll get to some topics first, believe it or not. And the first one is from it's basically Midnight Oil have come out and slammed local content rules because they've got their 5th number 1 album, which is Resist, which is out now, but only 4 other Aussies feature in the week ARIA top 40 chart, and none of those are in the top 10. So you got the Kid Leroy, I don't know who the hell that is, but that's number 13. Methyl Ethel at number 22. In Excess, number 35, and Tame Impala, number 36. So that gives you an idea because there's an article, a quote here saying, you got In Excess and Midnight Oil in the top 40 at the same time. They're basically questioning, going, what fucking decade is this? So that's the premise there. So they're basically saying we need to change local content laws. We've got some more people saying hi. I'll get to those in a second. But yeah, what do we generally think of having, local content quotas? Dave, let's go to you first.
Yeah, I don't think it's changed since the last time I heard what it was, but I think Australia was 20 to 25% local content. And
Very low.
as far as I know, it's one of the lowest ones around. I think Canada and France are both above 40. Yeah. And obviously USA and UK are a lot higher than that. And considering this is the country that gave the world quite a few iconic bands in the previous decades, it seems quite fucked up that we don't give a shit anymore. And I think Midnight Oil should be leading the way. I think a lot more other bands from that era should be speaking up and saying, hey, we got our break. There's no reason. There's still plenty of bands around. Yeah. The law should be altered to increase what local content should be. And it doesn't mean you can play songs from 30 fucking years ago. You gotta play some new. Gotta mix it up. Hate it for everyone.
Cool. Tim, agree? Don't care? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, agree massively. And I've been banging on about this for a while because what these cheeky fuckers do is they will play a bunch of Australian content to get themselves up to that 20% at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
When nobody's listening. And the fact that it's so low, they'll find like one Australian person who they like and then keep playing that same stupid person over and over again. It's the only reason Guy Sebastian still has a career. Is because he's one Australian that, they figured out that they like, and they're just going to keep replaying the same person over and over again. And it's fucking annoying. Yeah. And it's not for a lack of talent. We review at least 2 a week, and there's tons that we don't get to. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure it's the same for other genres as well. And so it's just a little bit of effort. And to make things actually worse, okay, yeah, Midnight Oil have a new album out, but they're a band that peaked 30 years ago. Same thing with In Excess. The Tame Impala haven't released a new album in like 4 years.
Mm. Yep.
They released a B-side single thing about 2 years ago as well. So I don't know what album of theirs is in the charts, but again, it's a fluke.
Mm.
So yeah, very poor performance from everyone involved. And then when the industry collapses in on itself, they'll wonder why.
Yeah, that's
fair point.
Good point. About you, Brendan?
Yeah, same old story. We've all been banging on about it for years, but we got a funny. I think Australia's a bit of a unique situation where our commercialisation sort of at complete saturation point. Where when you look at the UK or US, where their commercialisation is arguably bigger, but sheer weight of numbers, there's more room to move.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that. We have no rock station at all in Melbourne. Not one. It's a shame, Gold 104 and fucking Triple M playing the same fucking songs they've been playing for the last 40 years and will continue to do so because it's just hit the button to get a food pellet, and that's the way it works. And that's okay if there was somewhere else to go. So, unfortunately, I think the only move that this country really has is greater government radio. Like Triple J's fine. Well, it's not, but Triple J's fine if there was another fucking 5 Triple J's.
Yeah, if it was more representative.
stuff. But it's not going to happen in our lifetime, unfortunately. I wish it would, but look, quotas in principle, I think are fantastic. I think it's a really good idea, but they should probably also put a time quotient on it too. 40% Australian content from the last 10 years. Because, as Tim was saying, they'll pack it out with AC/DC, NXS, Hoodoo Gurus, all this stuff, and there's nothing wrong with any of those bands. No, we're not bagging any of that. It's all great stuff, but come on,
we've heard it.
Like,
I don't even care if it's rock bands.
Yeah.
No, I don't need to but there's that there's always a person who's listening to the mainstream radio stations at work or whatever. I don't need to hear Kylie Minogue again.
Yeah,
yep.
That's right.
It's an interesting one. I think that definitely all the points raised so far are extremely valid. I think, yes, it's got to be newer content. There has to be a time stamp on it too, so it has to be played between sort of 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. kind of thing. So it gets into the actual daytime rotation. It shouldn't just be, okay, go and play 40% has to be Aussie content. They can play, Cold Chisel during the day and then, maybe sneak in a new one at fucking 4 a.m. when no one gives a shit. It's they need to make sure that it's promoting new music at times when people are listening to it. Triple J needs an overhaul big time because it doesn't represent, and it's not just about rock and metal. Listen to that. Just, okay, Triple J needs to be actually representative of the entire spectrum of Australian music. It does drastically lack in a lot of the stuff we talk about, but it is what it is in that regard. But then when it comes to commercial radio, you've got the issue again, without government intervention, it's not going to change anything there. But the trouble is that government intervention still has its hands tied, as far as I'm aware, by the US Free Trade Agreement, which we signed donkeys ago. And that's a big handbrake on all this sort of stuff. So it's I like seeing Midnight Oil stand up and say something, but it's interesting that Peter Garrett, who was in politics for a while, hasn't noted that either for mine. So I'd like to see someone who, in theory, should know more, raise that as an issue as well, because I don't know how much wiggle room there is in that agreement. It doesn't just apply to radio; it applies to television, that as well. So quotas are a great idea. I just think we're a bit hamstrung at the moment, which is just batshit crazy to me. I'd like to see that legislation or deal where we can actually at least control our own destiny in that regard, and then move on from there. But time will tell. We haven't seen a government strong enough to take it on yet. Been watching it for a while, and it's been this way for at least a decade. So we'll see what happens.
There is the other problem, which is I don't know how influential radio is.
That's true, but at the same time, even though it's fading, it hasn't gone yet. And it even comes to things like, if we did that on radio to encourage things like the AFL, for example, to play more new Aussie music that was already getting played on Triple M, as an example.
Yeah.
So it can still.
Was it the Brownlow Medal where they had which band was it play AC/DC?
Yeah.
The chat was interesting that night.
Things like that. Things like that are just a kick in the teeth.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
and he got the smart ass comment in at the end. He goes, "If you like that, listen to our own shit." But
yeah, and that's kind of
fair play to him. But fuck me.
Yeah, we could go around and around on this one, but yes, we all agree that quotas are good. I would just like to see more older bands too stand up and say something, not just Midnight Oil. I think there's a few that can say they've got their break. So Dave made that point earlier on. It'd be good to get a lot more bands to say those things, to apply some pressure to the government to try and hopefully implement some changes in that regard. But make sure you're giving us your thoughts. While I do that, I'm going to go through the comments here. So I said before, I think Sally says hi, so good to see Sally here. But Robert joined us. Good to see you, Robert. Always good to get some less regular faces. So thank you for joining in. Andrew on YouTube, good friend of ours, is going, it's been the sequel for 2022 working for an ISP with floods, bushfires, and cut cables. Yeah, I don't envy you this year at all. I'm not going to try and pronounce this name, will I? Zafanamad, I don't know what it is, but Slayer and Carcass. So at some point, we'll talk about bands. If you watch us long enough, we will talk about those bands. When we were trying to drag Nikki, and Nikki's gone, not fit for consumption, waiting on the Rona test result. Text is almost as anxiety-inducing as waiting for the Hottie, you drunk message to reply. So there you go.
That was almost like English. She's done well there.
It's better than what she sends to us in the group chat. That's for sure. Well done. I'm impressed. Andrew's gone. When I listen to my local band playlist on Spotify, it's as good as the bands from anywhere. And that's definitely true when it comes to Aussie talent. We have the talent. We definitely have the talent. Nude says, I know a fair whack of Aussie bands who have submitted clips to Rage and have been told no, and I think that's a shame too. ABC, Triple J, they shouldn't be turning people down unless it's qualitatively shit. They shouldn't be saying no to a lot of people. Dean's going, hey lads, good to see you, buddy. And same with Sean, good to see you too, buddy.
Hey.
And Carly, good friend of ours, Carly, good to see you. Hope you keep it over there.
Hey.
Make sure you keep this going on the gig side too when you got some stuff going on there. Adrian, anyone recall Higo and Triple M got shut down, then booted off the M's? Yeah, there's a bit more going on there, but he's now over on Goal 104, I think. So
he's got drive too. So
yeah, he's got a good time slot. So yeah, well done.
I don't know if you can do much with it, but good luck to him nonetheless.
Yeah, I can't do much of what we're talking about, but no, it's good to see him landing on his feet there too, which is fantastic, and all the best to him. Hope he's well.
He is one of the good guys in that scene. So.
Genuinely,
yeah, he is.
Heart in the right place. Sean says Airborne played the MCG for the AFL.
I did see Airborne play prior to a Collingwood game once.
Yeah, Richmond Collingwood. I was there.
That's the one.
Yeah, Richmond Collingwood game. They played, and it was actually really good. They just sort of shut down lights. They played maybe 3 songs. And I was like, oh, this is the start of something interesting. As it turns out, it wasn't, because I haven't seen it since.
No, it was just a complete one-off with Airborne, and that was it.
Yeah, but it was actually really fucking cool. And it must be close on 10 years ago now.
Yeah, wow.
But,
yeah, it would be.
If sports could jump in there too, because you could do things like our VFL curtain raises, or better yet, make it AFLW curtain raises. Yeah. And, you could have bands in between and stuff. And you could make, the Saturdays or the Sundays even, because Sundays are the quieter one. You could have a Sunday event that's a bit more interesting if you had a few, some local bands and that there too.
The good thing with Airborne they did it on a Saturday night, if I recall, maybe on a Friday night, but they just did it on that platform like with Meatloaf. Where he so it wasn't like they brought the whole stage out.
I need to do that.
Just platform. Yeah, it was cool.
Just add to the atmosphere. That's all you need them to do is just, and then if it gets enough interest, then cool. And just give them a few minutes on telly, and all that would help a lot.
Well, we have no variety television anymore, do we? So
that's it.
Yeah, definitely not. Nude says Brian Mannix dropped a new single 2 weeks ago. Okay, I haven't checked it out yet. I'll have to make a note to go and check that out. And Lee, a friend of ours, Lee, good to see you, buddy. He's gone, I generally get my new fix of underground Oz rock bands from the radio on Tadpole, Respect the Rock on 3RRR, and Fang It on PBS. Yeah, support those two stations if you can. So community television, PBS, and 3RRR, check those ones out and give them some support.
Oh, that's great.
Yes. So there we go. All righty. Before we get to another topic, I'm going to give a quick gig plug here. So in the comments, I'm going to put a link, which is to a very nice gig coming up. So this is Beyond Black 5. This is Beyond Black Heavy Metal Festival. It's Ballarat's a charity event, heavy metal festival that raises awareness for mental health and funds for Beyond Blue. Its 5th year is this year, raising over $10,000 to date. Beyond Black will showcase 5 bands who have generously donated their time. Bush Wizard, Distorter, and Fall and Resist will be joined by Melbourne acts Drover and Demon Head, our good friends over there in Demon Head, for what promises to be an amazing night of heavy metal therapy. Make sure you take your stand on mental health by purchasing a ticket and attending Beyond Black. So there we go. Get around it, folks. That's a great gig up in Ballarat. Go and get your drink on. Go and have some fun, saying hi to some other punters, and go and see some awesome fucking bands, because Demon Head are fucking ripping, if nothing else. So it's well and truly worth your time. So there's a gig plug. In the comments, go and hit the link and make sure you follow up and have fun with it. All right. What do we got here? Nikki's got some comments coming on. Radio. Sorry. So Dean said, need everyone to do Australian tour. Been too long killing it overseas. I'd love to see him do it. I'm not sure how likely we are to get it anytime soon, but we'll see how we go. Adrian's gone, Brendan, bring back Hey Hey. So there we go.
That was great.
Something like that would be good if it could work.
Yeah.
I don't know these days.
I loved Hey Hey, but yeah. It's not going to work at 16 on a Saturday anymore because it's football time. So,
that's it.
I don't know what you do.
I think between the NRL and the
NFL,
AFL,
model, unfortunately, go that late night show. You know that.
I was going to say, I think the way to do it is some kind of late night show.
Yeah, straight after the footy into the old like the Steve Vizard thing.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good way.
But even on a weeknight.
Yeah, people will stay up and watch that shit. They'll watch it in bed. They will. Yeah.
Well, I used to watch David Letterman religiously.
Yeah.
And how many bands I found off that? That was unbelievable.
Yeah, Conan was good. Jimmy Fallon's good now. Look, it's not all gold, but fuck me. You know, in Australia, we'll be doing it once a week, not every night. So
that's it. And you could do it. I mean, we've been doing it on Channel 31 at 10:30 p.m. on Saturday nights for the best part of a decade. So, you know, there you go.
The late show on ABC used to be.
Yes.
That was 10:30 Saturday night or whatever it was.
Yeah. Rage has always been stupid o'clock until stupid o'clock on Friday and Saturday. There you go. Nikki says, off top of it, Airborne high up on the Hellfest bill this year. The lineup is insane because the Aussies reckon to that level, and that's definitely true. So well done to the lads for getting that one there. Dean says, great to see Airborne up the bill at Hellfest, flying the flag for Oz Rock. Sean says, the poor is support for Rose Tattoo on April 30th, 2022. That is true as well. That's going to be a good gig, so get out of that one as well. Michael says, it was actually cool seeing the metal band Voyager on SBS for Eurovision Australia decide. It's a live performance on a TV metal band you don't often see. And that's true. It was good to see them get that shot. And that is another topic I've got to make a note. We'll probably talk about it on Thursday. But yeah, the voting on that was a bit wanky for mine, but we'll see what happens.
Are you telling me that Eurovision was a bit wanky?
The Australian voting was a bit stupid. Let me put it that way. We'll save that
Eurovision.
one. I know. It's all fucking stupid, but you know, I haven't really paid attention to how it works until this time around. So I'm like, what? But anyway, so Nude says we need a show like Recovery, which is another one as well. It'd be cool to see there too. I think Michael is agreeing with that one. And Andrew also says a cool lyric video from a band called Arcane Saints. They've come a long way from the polyester suite. So there we go. We'll be talking about that one very, very shortly. Okay, another interesting little topic that's come up in the news over the last couple of weeks is that there's actually, believe it or not, albums being delayed due to paper shortages. Rammstein and Reckless Love are two that come to mind straight away. So believe it or not, because they don't want to have it a thing where you can get it digitally but you can't get it physically at the same time because of the people that like to collect this sort of stuff, they want to make it so that, you know, they're delaying the digital release until the physical stuff is ready to go. Now, my problem with this right now is that with everything going on in Ukraine, it's going to get very interesting because most of the world's freight planes are serviced or have their parts coming from that region of the world. So with everything going on, it's expected that within months, the larger freight planes of the worldwide transport network are going to be grounded through either damage or safety issues because they can't get new parts. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in that regard. So what do you make of that, Brendan? It's an interesting little problem to have now.
This is news to me. What's the shortage? Paper
at the moment. I'm anticipating other stuff, but yeah, paper is the problem right now.
Paper.
Yes, paper.
Okay. I find that really hard to believe.
Apparently.
Paper.
Rammstein and Reckless Love are both
fucking CDs. The problem's fucking paper. Really?
Yeah, apparently.
Well, what do you think the cardboard that wraps your fucking vinyl is made from?
Yeah, I know, but what do you think paper is made from? Fucking trees, which last time I checked were available in most countries.
Yeah.
No, do you know what it could like? There's also tree quotas now. You can't cut down everything. You got to replace a certain amount of trees that you cut down.
Yeah.
I'm coming this from a complete position of ignorance. Paper, fuck.
I see. I'm actually not surprised by this. And granted, now to be fair, I come from a just as ignorant as you. Right. So take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt.
Or like I said, vinyl or fucking anything, fucking paper.
But I look at the world the past couple of years. There's been shortages of everything. Because people are staying home, people have been sick and not working as they have been.
But the shortage of toilet paper surprised me. This is even more shocking.
No, but the toilet paper shortage was not actually a shortage. It was just it was a supply chain issue, right?
Mm.
As in, there was toilet paper to sell. It's just you couldn't get the trucks from the warehouse to the store fast enough.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, the warehouse is empty.
I don't know. My dad had a fair bit of bog roll stashed.
So that's where they were. But I know also, there are more paper laws these days. You can't, just cut down trees and not replace them. You've got, and I mean, trees take a long time to grow as well. And I mean, there's techniques they use. They just pump them full of water to help them grow faster. But again, those trees aren't as good as trees that are grown naturally over 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me, but to be perfectly honest, I wonder if this is going to be a more common thing in the future. It's just because the vinyl revival has probably slowed us down, but how long that lasts is going to depend on how long this thing lasts for. Because if people continue to buy vinyls at a higher clip, then bands will delay their releases to get them synced up together. If the vinyl revival stops, then bands will just go, fuck it, just release it.
Mate, this just all sounds like fucking horseshit to me. Like, if
it largely is, yes.
The weight of numbers of fucking album sales is affecting the fucking global supply of paper, I'll be fucked. There's no
I don't think it's exclusively that. I don't think they have a certain allocation of album sales dictating what paper is used. I think paper is short, and they just can't get what they need to make the things for the physical copy.
Surely, the fucking album.
No, do you know what it could be too? It could just be there's a paper shortage, right? Therefore, the cost of paper has risen, which makes making the album a physical copy not worth it.
Yeah, I still can't wear that the paper's the problem. Sorry.
Because because remember there was like a wood shortage as well, like a year ago.
Yeah. And
the price of guitars just went, drums as well.
Man,
I could be wrong. I'm just finding this one a bit tough to swallow.
You can Google it when you jump off, Brendan. It's there. There's a couple of.
I'm not denying the stories there. I'm denying the facts behind it.
Tim touched on it. I mean, it's mostly just a supply chain problem. The paper is probably sitting in the warehouse, but you probably got all sick workers and no one can actually physically put it onto a pallet. Or whoever drives the freight is sick. They can't get it to where it needs to be. Or the people at the printing, they print the albums, they're sick. So they can't get the paper in. They can't sign for it. Many factors that would go into this. I mean, with basic manufacturing, everything comes from somewhere. All materials are sourced from someone.
Yeah.
Anything that's going on in the world at the moment, if there's still lots of sick people, we've got the war happening, anything can delay what's going to happen. I mean, working in manufacturing myself, we have trouble getting materials in. It's not because the materials aren't there. The truck drivers are sick. So that delays up. Therefore, it delays what our customers need. So they can't get it. So
sounds like the means of production should be.
Yeah. So paper's probably there, but it's just a matter of being available to the people when they need it.
Yeah. We're I think we're witnessing, how do we put it? The impact of globalization in a negative context, it goes wrong. So when you get a pandemic or a war, it kind of fucks shit up. So I think that's, it just kind of disrupts supply chains, and because we rely on certain countries to, we've always talked about, when it comes to Australia and China, for example, we talk about Australia being China's food bowl. We'll feed them and they manufacture the shit for us. Depending on everything getting along, let's say. But those are the things we've gotten to economically speaking, and I think it's just an interesting footnote on we're seeing albums delayed now due to a quote-unquote paper shortage. I think there's a lot more to it than just that. The logistics behind all this are fucking nuts. But we got some comments coming through, which I'll get to those.
Is that why there was no WWE game last year? There was no paper for the insert?
Instructions in the box.
I think we're going to get some new t-shirts made too. I think we're going to be the hard left show.
There's also a shortage of shipping containers as well, because apparently there's a lot of boats that have been off the coast of America for over 18 months now, and people haven't been on land for that time.
They can't.
Too much.
Yeah.
But I'd accept a container shortage before I'd accept a paper shortage.
All the paper's probably on the containers on the ships.
Probably, and that makes more sense.
Yeah. I don't know why there's a paper shortage. I don't know if it's not been manufactured or if it's in containers or whatever. So I don't know the particular details. I'm just saying labels and bands are saying there's not enough paper. We're delaying the release. I'm saying if we're seeing that now, we're going to see that a whole lot more over the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's where we're at, I think.
Did you find this story on like a paper lobbying group?
No, it's a fucking like Loudwire or something. Man. It's actually made music news cycles. Obviously, it was a slow day when I found.
In 3 months' time, the paper will be plentiful, and they'll run out of ink.
Yeah. Yes, you watch. it'll happen. It'll be something else soon enough. So I think my point at the end of this is that just whatever you think in terms of, we all thought over the last couple of years that we expected releases to be delayed or impacted because of COVID. Now, I think we're still going to see that disruption to album release schedules over the next couple of years because it's just other shit going wrong, and any excuse will do at this point in time, I think, is where we're going to be at when it comes to this sort of stuff. Andrew said before, sleeves out of recycled plastic. That's a possible option as well. Adrian jumped in to say, "Old Tone, the bog roll hoarder." So there we go.
That's my dad he's referring to.
There you go. Andrew's, here we go, going on the hard left show here. Andrew's gone, hemp is a better alternative to make paper from, grows quickly and makes top quality paper. It's also better for the environment, so there's a whole lot of things there too with legislation that needs to be worked out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I agree with fucking fix that industry. Sally says, paper, I make it here at home from recycled pulp. They're a bit preoccupied maybe, or it's just the planes of the issue. And Sean has said, while you're on about it, the paper shortage, don't forget about vinyl material to make records, etc. Next due to the petroleum attacks in Kyiv, which is cool. And then Nikki's gone, there's dumped shipping containers in Seaford. Let's go get them via Tim and Nikki's cow hunting. So there you go. I want the video. What you got to do, I don't know if you guys have seen this. There's a video of some dude in Ukraine picking up like a Russian armored personnel carrier with a tractor and driving off with it. So what you guys need to do is hijack a tractor, go find a container, and I want you to send me the video of you guys hijacking a container down.
There's a farm just up the road there. There's probably a tractor somewhere.
I don't know what you need to
hijack a cow. That's what I want to see.
What was that?
Hijack a cow.
There's dairy farms literally like 700 meters from here.
I'm stick with a cow. I'd love to see that.
I want to see the cow tipping video followed by the dragging off video. So, just for a bit of fun.
I don't know. Cows are kind of big. I'd be kind of terrified of ambushing a cow.
Yeah, don't. It won't go as well as you think.
No.
Yes, and don't let the RSPCA in on this either. So if anyone in the RSPCA is watching, just ignore us. Roland says, I'm looking forward to Reflex's new paper release in April. Here it comes with 10 free music tickets. Yeah, so there we go. That'll be another one.
Are they going to be like drug companies and start putting like baby powder in the paper formula?
Sorry, what was that again?
Are they going to start putting like baby powder in the paper formula and cutting the purity down of the paper?
Well, the microns will get less and less and less as this thing goes.
Yeah,
on.
But they'll charge you the same.
Yeah, oh man, for sure.
Fucking Milky Way syndrome all over again.
Fucking hell. Here we go. All right, we got some random questions. Okay, cool. Andrew's gone, I drive past so many cows on the way home from work. Cool. Here we go. Fucking here we go. Hey, Dennis, if you're watching, cheese can't be that expensive because there's obviously plenty of cows. But anyway.
Cheese is expensive, man.
It is now. It's fucking weird. His question is always, why is cheese so expensive when there are so many cows? I don't fucking know why. But Nikki's going...
because cheese is hard to make, and it takes a long time.
Do they need paper?
Well, you need to wrap it in something.
Cellophane. Cellophane will do.
The only other option is to eat your whole wheel of brie in one go.
I'm willing.
Yeah, give it a crack. So there you go. Nikki's gone. Remember when Jimmy fed the cows? Yes, he does feed the cows rather often than he used to anyone on his social post, which is always fun. But DB's got a random question for us here. Regular random question. Your worst album purchase. Ooh, interesting topic here.
Easy.
Interesting. DB, worst album purchase. In the comments, let us know your worst album purchase while we sort of jump into this one. Who am I going to throw into this one first? Let's go to you first, Dave. I'll go on.
Yeah, go, Dave. Go, Dave.
Dave, okay.
I'm thinking the first Transatlantic CD. Big supergroup with Mike Portnoy and I think Steve Morse. And I thought it was going to be great, and it was basically just a 60-minute jam.
Yeah.
They literally recorded it in a couple of days. I'm like, what the fuck are you releasing this as an actual album? It's cool as like a part 2 to a full album, but yeah, I listened to it once and I haven't touched it since. Disappointed.
Wow. All right. Tim, what about you?
Saint Anger.
I was waiting for that to come up. Yeah.
Come on.
I wasn't dumb enough to buy Lulu, but Saint Anger.
Yeah, that's up there. About you, Brendan?
Danzig Skeletons.
Ooh, you bought that?
I did.
Wow.
I bought that. I was shit you not, because I don't think I knew you guys yet. I reckon I bought that like 2 days before your review went to air.
Yeah.
I bought it and listened to it and went, seriously, I could have recorded this in my fucking bed. I didn't even have a computer. I think, I could have done it with an old tape deck and a couple of shitty microphones. And then your review, and I was pissing myself laughing because I went, yeah, that's pretty much it. And as you know, I'm a Danzig fan. And it was
I know.
So bad. Embarrassingly bad. So, and there's trust me, there's a lot of shit albums in there. But that one definitely stands out.
Saint Anger gets a nod. Definitely gets a nod. Okay, because it's a purchase, and it's still in my collection, believe it or not. Me and my ex purchased a Blink 182 album. I don't know which one it was, but it's still in the wrapping. Okay. I didn't want to listen to it.
How do you know? It could be great.
How do you know it's bad then?
Because I knew the song. Okay, don't accept it. All right.
It can't be worse than My Chemical Romance.
It can't
Fuck you all. No, I'm gonna actually go with. I bought. I forget the name of it, but there's that Placebo album from fucking ages ago, and they had that "Every Me, Every You" song was a big hit.
Yeah.
The single, I bought the album, and the album's fucking woeful. A couple of good songs.
Yeah, I don't mind that album.
Yeah, Brick Shithouse can go in the fucking bin. That's a horrible song.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I remember how bad that was. So yeah, that was probably one of my worst purchases, to be honest. That wasn't a good feeling at all. I didn't like the way that ended out for myself.
It wasn't as good as the first album, but
yeah, because you didn't buy singles like I said back then. You sort of just went and bought the album because a couple of singles were good, and then it's like, yeah, that was the highlight, and that was it. The rest is completely skippable. What are we
morning? You don't care about us, Taskmasters.
I got another one.
What?
I have another one.
Yeah.
Dream Theater, The Astonishing.
Okay. Fair point. I didn't buy it. Yeah.
I brought it, but yeah. That's bad album.
Has it gotten better?
It's just reminding me to put
the ones that broke your heart the most. Because I remember, to be honest, and sorry, Dave, but like Spaghetti Incident, oh man. I was expecting so much and got so little at the time.
Punk, what do you expect from it?
I don't know. I enjoy it more now than then, but I remember like really wanting to enjoy that album. It was awful.
That's why I think St. Anger's hard to top. Like I didn't want to say it because St. Anger's hard to top.
Yeah.
That didn't disappoint me at all. I like St. Anger. I still do to this day.
Me.
You're the only one, though.
I'm not the only one.
See, I go through phases where I think, St. Anger wasn't that bad, but that's usually when I haven't listened to it in years.
Yeah.
And then you listen to it, and it's like, no, it's genuinely bad.
I enjoy bits of it. I definitely
The
enjoyed
DVD that came with it is better.
But that's the thing. Bits of it are okay. There are parts of songs that are good. And I know it's crazy to say this, considering they spent 3 years working on it. But it's like they needed to spend more time filtering out the bad stuff and working more on the good stuff.
Jesus,
they needed to play the songs through before they actually recorded it. It's all Pro Tool. The first time they played the songs through was when they recorded the DVD after they made the album.
Yeah.
You can tell that this isn't working.
Yeah, the DVD actually is pretty good. I'll pay the DVD.
But Metallica
used to improve in subsequent live performances because it worked.
Metallica would do that for a lot of the stuff, though.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
It's still a bad album.
Yeah, we're actually getting some defense of it, by the way, which is interesting.
Told you I wasn't the only one.
Yeah, no, you're not the only one, Dave. We're actually getting some defenders of that album in this.
All right, so here's my question for defenders of Saint Anger. My question for defenders of Saint Anger: when was the last time you listened to it start to finish?
When we did our Megadeth special, that's the last time I listened to it.
Lockdown 2020.
Wow.
So 2 years.
Yeah.
Great.
Me. About you, Brendan, when was the last time you listened to Saint Anger all the way through?
All the way through. Fucking
Man.
a long time ago. 10 years.
Yeah, but he's not defending it. It doesn't. It's all right to not listen to it when you think it's shit.
Yeah.
It's when people go, "Yeah, Saint Anger was all right." When was the last time you listened to it? 3 years ago. Yeah, great album.
It's in a shuffle, so like tracks come up and I go, oh yeah, but yeah, it's not.
Oh, there you go.
I'll take Load and Reload over fucking Saint Anger any day of the week.
Yeah.
Are we the people?
Well,
Does it
DB.
get your frantic TikTok going?
Oh God, that's not a better.
Does your lifestyle determine your death style? Well, have I got the album for you?
I like that lyric. That's cool.
No, that's
Man,
embarrassing.
that's like an infomercial so well. That's God, infomercial metal. All right, there you go, DB. You got a fucking few comments out of that one. What have I got here? Going back to the cheese for a second. Andrew's gone after doing a student exchange in France. My son's taste in cheese got really expensive. Yeah, that's not surprising. I do it very well over in Europe.
Cheese.
Because I went to scroll back a bit through the comments. Anyway, back to the album.
We're reviewing HammerFall later, so
yeah, we'll get to that. Nikki says I didn't purchase it for myself, but Zappa. Just no. Sorry, Brendan. So there you go. That was
wrong.
He's got like 60 albums. It's like,
yeah, that's true. Which one? That's a good question.
Some of them are definitely shit.
Yeah, contentious one here.
Well, you release that many. Some of them are going to be.
Conrad's gone. Worst purchase was Roots by Sepultura.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't agree with that.
I see. I do think that album is overrated.
Maybe slightly.
Overrated?
Roots is just the first Soulfly album.
That's still good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not complaining.
I like
Yeah, I like Soulfly, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
Rowan says, I love Mike Patton, but his Pranzo Old Transistor was my worst album purchase. Now of him vocalizing cooking sound effects. Haven't heard that one? You're not selling.
Was that one he did with the orchestra?
I have no idea.
Yeah, there's one. There's an album that he does where he sings like Italian love songs with an orchestra.
Yeah, I think that's the one. And I'm tipping it shit because he's fucking insane.
Oh, look. It's the wankiest thing you've ever heard. And in an ironic way, it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, it would be. Marco's gone, it could be worse. Some people out there have bought Limp Bizkit albums or Van Halen's Diver Down.
I've got a ton of Limp Bizkit albums.
This is someone. Is this one of your friends, Dave?
This person's cool, I agree. Limp Bizkit is shit and Diver Down was a fucking terrible album.
You're going to put us right in the middle of each other again, Marco. Fucking hell. Bring up that band. And I'm talking about Limp Bizkit, not Van. I think we all agree Diver Down is not Van Halen's best effort. Limp Bizkit is going to be fucking. Sally says, I feel wrong saying it because I've been a fan since round 12, but Blood Moon from Cold Chisel. Okay. Interesting. Andrew says, bought a Goo Goo Dolls album based on the song in the movie. Album was ordinary. Their earlier stuff isn't too bad, though. Their earlier stuff rocks a bit harder than the stuff you hear from.
My opinion on the Goo Goo Dolls is fresh from Steel Panther. They're full but metal. Fuck the Goo Goo Dolls. They can suck my balls.
Yeah, but I wish I wrote that song. I wish I was that dude.
Exactly.
Yes.
You'd make a lot of money doing it. But here we go, Dave. Here's some stuff for you. Andrew says, I like Sananga too. So does Sally. Dave's not the only one. I'm into Sananga. So there you go. There's a couple of...
I like the song Sweet Amber.
Sweet Amber was pretty good. I'll pay that. Yeah.
I like All Within My Hands. It's probably one of my favorite Metallica songs.
I think,
especially the acoustic version they do of that.
That acoustic version was cool.
Yeah.
I think Unnamed Feeling has potential.
That definitely happens. Yeah.
Some kind of monster's cool live.
The first riff in Dirty Windows really fucking good. But
yeah.
Again,
cool.
I love how we're ripping on this album, but we can all single out parts that are so good.
But that's what I mean. That's the frustrating bit about it, is that there are parts of it that are good.
Live version is much better than the album.
Sounds like shit.
Yes. The thing is, for me, that on that note, you wouldn't get Death Magnetic without Sananga. It makes sense to how you got Death Magnetic. I just wish the production.
Have you seen those videos where like they've taken like Lars's snare sound from Saint Anger and just put it onto snare tracks of other songs?
Yeah.
No.
Unbelievable. Yeah, like I've got Bleed by My Sugar, and you just see like every few seconds, bong, bong.
God, no, that's not.
I do stuff like that in Slipknot, so I don't see why one's cool and the other's not.
Yeah, but that's a keg. That's a keg.
No. They've
got a great drummer.
I know this is strange for guitarists to understand, right? But you can tune a snare drum. Drums have a pitch to it, right?
Yes,
and when they're not even all the way around, they go out of tune.
Yeah.
And there are notes that clash with each other. That's the problem with the Saint Anger snare drum. Is there a clashing? The drum is out of tune with itself.
Jesus, that's a.
It fits what they're doing though.
It doesn't make it right.
I'm going to move us on because we're going to keep waffling about this.
We're going to talk for hours.
Adrian's on. No need to argue. The Cranberries expect 12 songs like Zombie, but so there's another one there.
I like that.
Darren, well, I haven't listened to that in a long time.
6 Feet Under.
Yeah, Maximum Violence. It's god awful. So there's one from Darren.
Oh man, when you expected Cannibal Corpse 2.0. Oof.
Here's one that could be interesting. Lee says Megadeth, Super Collider.
It wasn't
cool.
Not a good album.
Yeah.
Because that came off straight after Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Endgame was one of their best albums.
Yeah, Endgame was brilliant.
Super Collider is not.
Yeah.
And the album that came after was pretty good as well.
Yeah, it's a shit album between
13 came after?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. 13 was
13 was all right.
Yeah.
Dystopia was all right, but Super Collider was not great.
Michael says, I've listened to Sananga in probably 10 years. There we go. Andrew says, took me a couple of listens, but it's been a couple of years since I listened, so I think that's back to Sananga there. What do we got? DB says, Zappa kicks ass, and I'm pretty sure Brendan's going to say, yes, definitely. I've heard a lot of this. No, I agree. He's very, very talented, that bloke. Marco says, Jimmy disagreed about Diver Down, but Dave was right and still deserves to be in the bin. So that's doing the rounds for years, that one.
I did that twice, too.
Oh, here we go. Sally's gone monster. Yay. And Conrad's gone, stop bashing Sananga. It's a half-decent record. Thankfully, I didn't purchase Lulu now. That was a real pile of shit. Yeah, no, Lulu worth buying at all. All righty. Jeez, okay. David, good to see you, buddy. He's gone Megadeth. Risk load of shite. That gets a lot of canning, too.
Yeah, I don't like that album either.
Yeah, that's probably in the contention, that one.
One or two okay songs on it.
What was that?
So there's one or two okay songs on it. That's about it.
Yeah. All right, quickly, let's do a hot topic. I just wanted to get us through 5 bands. So this is the question of the day. 5 bands that we would like to see. With everything opening up, it looks like more and more of these larger events are happening. We're getting more with the idea of big events and full-blown tours happening again. So if everything goes to plan and everything keeps opening up, what are 5 bands you would like to see tour Australia as soon as possible? So 5 bands. Dave, over to you.
Straight up, Grush and the Chronicles. I would love to see them. They're my band of the moment. Been my band for the last 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
3 years now. Yeah, that'd be fucking great. And of course, Wednesday 13. I would love him to move it over here. He's on the 20-year anniversary tour, so it's going to be a hell of a headlining. So please come over. Crash Diet, they've been rescheduled and rescheduled and rescheduled, so I'd like it to finally happen. Of course, Metallica, they got pulled a while ago. And Iron Maiden. I'd love to see the bands again. We're going to, and then it's been cancelled. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck it. Just make it happen.
Nice. What about you, Tim?
Well, the only band that I had tickets to that got nixed was actually the Red Shore, who were Australians.
Oh, okay.
So I'd like to see that again, just because they were on a 10-year anniversary tour. They haven't toured in 10 years, so that'd be cool. But obviously, I would love to see a rescheduling of the Metallica Slipknot show. That would have been the greatest show of all time.
Yeah.
I saw Metallica and Lamb of God probably 10 years ago.
That would have been cool.
But at that time, Lamb of God were definitely treated like a support band, whereas I don't think Slipknot would have been treated like a support band, which would have made it a better gig. Obviously, Iron Maiden, because, they had their tour cancelled, and who doesn't want to see Iron Maiden?
Yeah.
Now, for the next two, Pretty Reckless. We raved about their album last year, and I'd love to see it played live. So that one. And another band whose album we raved about, and I've seen this band a billion times, but I can't say them enough, and that is Lamb of God.
Yep. Definitely.
Because, Mastodon for a honourable mention.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Cool. Getting a few comments coming. So keep them coming, guys. But yeah, Brendan, you've had some time now to think. What have you got?
Make it up as I go. But number one for me, obviously, with new coming out, fucking Ghost. My God.
Yeah.
Stole the show at bloody whatever it was called. What was that festival?
Download.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
They were fucking incredible. Absolutely stole it. So, but yeah, the Metallica Slipknot thing still breaks my heart that never happened. Of course, because it was also pre-COVID. We can't even blame COVID on that. It was just so that was an absolute heartbreaker. Same with Timmy. Pretty Reckless. I'd love to see live. See if they can actually fucking put that together. That would be bloody amazing to see. I'm trying to think of another one of the newer bands. Fuck me. What else have we got? Jesus.
Take your pick.
Clips. Fuck, I'd love to see Eclipse. Completely forgot.
Yeah,
I just thought I know you love the Clips.
Limp Bizkit.
Rubbish. Yes. Limp Bizkit.
You get some dad vibes live.
Dad vibes tour. Yeah, that's it. That's number 5. Limp Bizkit. Well done.
That's okay. Cool. Well, I've got enough to give us a few now. So for me, for an all-time favorite is Rammstein. I haven't seen them in fucking forever. So that's one for me is I would love to see them just actually go and do a full-blown stadium show. That would be awesome. We had Brendan. We lost Brendan. I don't know what's happened to his camera, but don't know what's happened there. All right. But yeah, Rammstein for me, definitely. But then also, like everyone else, the Metallica or Slipknot one, that's been a definite one that I would love to see that rescheduled if that could ever fucking happen. That would be fantastic. Tim, you're going to hate me for this one, but Five Finger Death Punch, I would love to go and see that live. I haven't seen them live. I would love to go and see it. Brendan, back me up. But Brendan, you fucking disappeared. I don't know what you've done. But yeah, if Brendan was here, he'd back me up with that one. But I'd also like to see 6 a.m. That'd be something I'd love to see with Jody, actually, because Wedding Song and all sorts of stuff is from that band. So I'd love to have a chance to go and see that band play live. On the back of tonight's review session and also the tour that was a missed event at last time around, Scorpions. I'd like to see Scorpions come out and go to a show of that. Eclipse, like a few others have said, that'd be fantastic. Mastodon is on my list as well. Pretty Reckless, it's been raved on about. I would love to see that band too, along with Ghost. Again, Ghost is fantastic. But also I'd like to see Judas Priest come out as a full band. And I'd love to see Priest come out and do a full show. Hey, Brendan's back. I'd like to also see Hailstorm, and on that list again is Disturbed. So I'd like to see Disturbed as a standalone show too. So I ended up with a few, considering I was randomly throwing that together at the end there. But yeah, I'd like to see a few of those bands. They get me out there for sure. What do we got here? Going back through some comments. Okay, back to the bad albums for 1 second. Andrew's gone. Godly and Cream did a 6-album set, Consequences, total snooze fest. So I'm not familiar with that one, but I'll take your word for it. Okay, on to 5 bands people would like to see. Conrad says Megadeth, Volbeat, Maiden, Clutch, Mastodon. Some good choices there.
I go to that festival. That's good.
Michael says Ginger, Devin Townsend. Devin is fucking great. Metallica, Green Day, and Leprous. That's a good lineup too. Rowan says, I think I would drag myself out of home to see Ginger if they toured again. Hope they're all okay in Kiev. Yeah, definitely. And their video.
Apparently, great show last time too.
Yeah, and their video is online there. Apparently, as far as I know, all safe and okay so far, but that was a few days ago. So hopefully they're all keeping well over there. It's a bit crazy. BP says, good to see Brendan back. So there you go. You're getting some love there, Brendan. Marco says, Guns N' Roses, Nightwish, Lordy, Alice Cooper, and Hailstorms. That's some good choices there.
I would love to see Lordy one day.
Yeah, Lordy would be fun. Lordy would be fun. What were you saying, Dave?
That guy could be my friend.
Yeah. I was pretty sure he was your friend.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He will be after the fight, I'm sure. They're going to go on Facebook Dude says King's X should be massive. I think there's a new album from them on the way too, which is going to be pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I think there's another album. I remember reading something about that somewhere. David says I'm still have MCG tickets for Sacred Reich and M&G tickets. Sorry, for meet and greet for Sacred Reich and Violence from 2 years ago. So I hope that happens. Fucking good luck, mate. Hopefully it does come off for you as well. Rowan says they'll never tour here, but I go see TNT. That would be all right too. And Nicole, hello all. So she's jumped in to say hello. Hope you're keeping well. I know it's crazy for you up there, so hopefully you're keeping safe and well up in Queensland. It's been a fucking madhouse for a while now. So yeah, hopefully you and yours all very, very well up there. All the best. Chris says Nightwish, Avantasia, Naxatras, and 1000 mods. That's a good fucking list there. Nice list. Sally says Metallica and Slipknot, Alter Bridge, Tremonti, Black Label Society, and the Witching Hour. Yeah, okay, cool. Very nice.
Yeah, the Alter Bridge and the Tremonti album were both really good too.
Yeah, they were both good. That'd be good to see.
Oh, the Misfits thing with Danzig too that was happening. Fuck, mate.
Yeah.
With Dave Lombardo drumming.
Yeah. Kill to see that.
That would have been good. That would have been good. I'll pay that one. Yeah. Andrew says Maiden, Metallica, Priest, and Rammstein. Man after my heart there for sure. The Metalhead Fox. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. I think it's the first time you jumped in here. My 5 would be Metallica, Nocturnus, AD, Destruction, Amon Amarth, and Cannibal Corpse. So, yes, very
the last two.
Yeah, Amon Amarth and Cannibal Corpse.
Well, the new Cannibal Corpse album was awesome.
Good. Yeah.
And if you haven't heard the Corpse Grinder album, it's fucking fantastic.
Is it what you think it is, though? I haven't listened to it, Tim. Is it what you expect, or is it?
Oh, it's groovier than Cannibal Corpse. Okay. You listen to the first track, and it's like it should just be a Cannibal Corpse album, but it's much groovier.
Okay, cool.
And Amon Amarth are incredible.
They're very good. Ooh, here we go. Adrian's got Faith No More, Steel Panther, Seven Dust, Guns N' Roses, and Iron Maiden. There's a good list there too.
Two of them are touring together.
Yeah.
I'll probably go with that too.
Yeah. Lee says Clutch, Mastodon, Florence Black. And there's a good band. Rammstein and Testament. That's nice.
That'd be awesome.
That would be good. Darren on YouTube says Gojira, Ginger, Pretty Reckless, Lamb of God, Metallica. Fuck, this is going off. DB
like
says
Creative Festival.
Pretty much. DB says Joy Division, Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Frank Zappa, and Nirvana. Well, that would be a nice one if you could get it.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
That's it. That's the ideal.
Nirvana can get Axel to sing.
Yeah, well, what was that?
Nirvana can get Axel to sing. I'm sure
God,
love
that. Nicole says still a madhouse, but thanks, guys. Yeah, no, she's up in Queensland with it's fucking flooding going mad. So yeah, I'm glad you're keeping well up there. Nikki says Iron Maiden and Garish and the Chronicles, also Wasp. Wasp is a definite on that list. Yes, Wasp has to be added to that list. Definitely. Good call. Yeah, Sally's going, oh, Rob Zombie, please. That wasn't on my list because I've seen him a couple of times, so I'm happy to, I went for ones I haven't really seen a lot of, but yeah, that would be a good one too, Rob Zombie. Nicole's contributed though, Maiden, Halloween would be fantastic. If they got be fantastic.
7 piece, yes.
Yeah. Destruction Creator and Gamma Ray, good lineup.
Yeah,
again.
for sure.
And Nick, good to see you over on Facebook. He's gone King Diamond, Merciful Fate, Udo, Ram, Sloth, Feg. So there we go. There's a few in there.
I'd love to see King Diamond. Fuck, man.
King Diamond, good. Kingdom would be fucking fantastic. I'd definitely get out and about for that. Alrighty, keep them coming. What 5 bands you'd love to see tour Oz? Well, because we haven't got singles for Brendan, we're going to go through singles ourselves. But Brendan, the main purpose of you being here, you managed to kill it, which is good. But you recently saw a movie and you wanted to have a quick little chat about it. So
yeah, I just want to start out. I just thought it might be relevant for this nonsense that we do. But for those that because I think it's only in cinemas for a week here.
Okay.
6,
Yep.
By the Foo Fighters, so it's going to come and go pretty quick. And like much like most of us in the sort of hard rock metal community, I like the Foo Fighters, but they're a bit oversaturated kind of thing. But I thought, well, this will be something. I'll just go see it. I don't mind the sort of splattercore horror movies and stuff, and I love going to movies at the Astor because anyone that hasn't been to the Astor in like the last 8 years, when they upgraded the sound system in there, it is fucking mental. Like.
Nice.
When you get the low in there, the whole fucking place rumbles, and because it's still with the timber floors, and it's really fucking cool. So if you ever get a chance to see a movie you love, no matter what it is, if it's fucking, Star Wars or a horror film or The Godfather or something, if you get a chance to go see the Astor, seriously do it. It's good fun.
Cool.
Old school popcorn, choc top.
Yeah.
Nice. It's been great. Yeah. Byron, I think for his 40th a couple of years ago, had us all go see the Warriors there. It was fucking awesome. We had a great night.
Yeah.
Diane and I went down on Sunday to see Studio 66 by the Foo Fighters and think, well, what we're in for? And well, obviously, these guys can't act because they're musicians. So keep your expectations nice and low in that regard. But if you just there were so many good little like metal cues and stuff in there. And there was enough to keep you interested. Is it the best movie you ever see? Absolutely not. But fuck me. If you like your metal music in a horror movie at all, you will really, really get a kick out of it because it's so much fun. I think you can generally rate a movie like this by the quality of the death scenes, and the death scenes are fucking gold.
Nice.
It is really well worth checking out because there are a couple that will really open your eyes. I go, man, that was really cool.
Okay.
For those of you that know the song will know. For those that don't, you won't. But anyone knows the song "The Lumberjack" by Jackal? That soundtrack was used absolutely beautifully.
Nice.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check it out. You'll figure it out. But seriously, really good, really well done. Can they act? No, they can't. They absolutely cannot act for shit. But the comic relief from Pat Smear particularly is really fucking good. Dave's performance is on point. The cameo from Kerry King deserves a fucking Oscar. It was great.
You in the chat, when you saw that, you're going to he deserves the Best Supporting Actor award.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but Kerry's performance with Dave is just so fucking beautiful. It's wonderful. You should check it out. So, look, if you like a horror movie, check it out because, yes, it's not the best movie you'll ever see, but fuck, it's fun. And if you get a chance to see it in the Astor in the next few days, do it because it sounds fucking amazing. Nice. It is so good because the music in the thing is really good. When Taylor's fucking banging out the drums, it feels like you're in the room. It's really, really cool. So check it out. It's a hell of a lot of fun. I'll give it, what we're going to give it, 4.5 skulls out of 5.
Okay. Nice. Did you hear more? Because the premise is about a lost tape or something, or it gets completed and I forget. But do you hear more of that music? Like we had the one single so far. Do you hear more of that in the movie?
Well, not really. Which I'm a bit surprised. Even that fucking single, which I really enjoyed. You don't kind of get as much. I'm trying to think of a way of wording without giving too much of a spoiler.
Yeah, it's all good.
The premise is basically Dave's trying to make this sort of concept album that turns into like a 45-minute song.
Right. Okay.
So, the band's getting pissed off.
Yeah.
So the thing that was released as a single, I think, is kind of the best of that 45-minute tune.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't really get that, which part of me was a bit disappointed because I reckon that's a really cool track.
Okay.
I think you shared that.
We did. We got that the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. Actually, was really impressed with that. But yeah, look, turn your brain off, get some popcorn, a beer, and have some fun. It is fucking good. Really, really good.
Yeah. So when you say is it more like the Army of Darkness, or is it like the Boomstick movie number 3?
Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, the Evil Dead 3. A bit like that. It's a bit Shaun of the Dead.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just enjoy.
All right. Cool.
Like if it's a date movie for you, don't do that. That's a bad idea. Yeah, the girl you're taking will not enjoy it. The girl did enjoy it, but I knew she would.
Yeah. All right.
It's a stroke of genius, and it will probably cost them a lot of money because I think the box office has failed really badly.
Bombing badly, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't quite know what they would have expected. It's got a bit like Pick of Destiny. It's got that very limited appeal. I loved it, but would everyone? Probably not. Yeah, because those little sort of metal cues that, I mean, that we would enjoy that thousands wouldn't.
Yeah.
And thousands of people wouldn't even know it was fucking Kerry King. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's not in makeup. It's just fucking Kerry King, and we all go, Kerry King.
Now, when those cameos pop up, did the audience that were there respond to him, going like that, going, "Hey, yeah"?
Definitely.
So the vibe was in the room.
Everyone that was in the room knew what was going on.
Okay,
and that's
cool.
what made it so good. Yeah. So, like I said, again, if you get the chance to see it at the cinema, do it because it is fucking worth it. And big screen wise, the special effects are quite astounding.
Okay.
Assuming they were working on a limited budget.
Okay, cool.
They did a very, very good job. So it's yeah, it'd be a shame to miss it because it was. I went in with low expectations, as I suppose anyone would. You know, but you know, I just came out really grinning from ear to ear. We just had a great, worth watching, and it's if you like horror, it's still scary enough. There's plenty going on. You know, it's an R-rated movie, and it's an R-rated movie for a reason. Nice.
There you go, Dave.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm sold. I'll go see it.
I would arguably say the best death scene I've ever seen in a horror movie.
Wow. That's a big call. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
And by best, I mean fucking funny.
Oh, that's gold. Oh, fucking hell. That's good. It's one of the, it sounds like one of those movies that, you know, a decade from now will be at those West Garth 24-hour movie marathons.
Yeah.
It'll fit right into that vibe.
I'd seriously doubt that it wouldn't become a cult film.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like I said, they can't act. They're not pretending to. And you can see the director's leaning into that too. Like it's very, very well done. But you can see it being a double feature with Pick of Destiny or something.
Yeah.
11 o'clock Saturday night, get on the Terps, go nuts. Because believe me, if they did that, I'd be the front of the queue because it was fucking great. I would see it again and again.
Nice.
Because it's one of those culty kind of films. It's
cool.
It would be very, very easy to watch and repeat. You know?
Nice.
So,
cool.
Yes, do check it out. Don't let the fact that it's got the Foo Fighters in the title off-put you if you're a metalhead. Because Dave loves his metal.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, he loves and he certainly respects it. You can tell. It's very cool. Yeah.
Nice. Well, there you go. There's a good little movie review. Well done, Brendan. Got some comments on this.
I don't think I spoiled anything. Did I?
No, I don't actually. I think you've done pretty well there. We're going to be mixing bits and pieces up here. So going back to the 5 bands you'd like to see tour Oz. Cal, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. She's gone Rob Zombie, Destruction, Ministry. Oh, Ministry would be fun. Cannibal Corpse and Phil Anselmo on the Illegals. Fucking another good lineup. DB's taking things out of context here. We're going, I've had sex at the Astor. So there we go. Done for you. What was that?
Pre-sound system or with a new sound system?
Good.
Relevant.
Yes. Rowan's gone. Good to hear the Astor sound was updated. It used to be awful. So there we go. Michael says, I heard the Foo Fighters film's only in cinemas for a week as well. Went and saw it and I loved it. So there's another one that's giving it some positive thoughts here too. Back to the 5 bands thing here. David's gone Demouble Gear, Heathen, Exodus, Whitesnake, and Scorpions. Good lineup there too. Fucking hell. Marco, he's gone. Hope it's better than the Lordy movie because Dark Floors was just weird and made no fucking sense. Haven't seen either. I can't comment. So
it's a Lordy movie.
Apparently.
Wow.
Haven't checked it out. All right.
I might have to find that to be bitterly disappointed. This could be of St. Anger level.
I just got to see it.
I want to go back and watch the fucking Pink Floyd The Wall movie now after all this.
Yeah, that was
That's
nice.
Nick,
Not the movie.
I hate horror films, but love Foo Fighters. Will most likely go. Okay, cool. What was that?
Horror's great. She's missing out.
Yes. Well, she had to ask Brendan where the Astor was in the chat, which was.
I can't fucking believe that.
Sorry, I'm not out
the whole life and not know where the fucking Astor is.
Yeah. Andrew's gone. I was planning to see Studio 666. Convinced now. So Brendan, you're selling people. Lee has got the news though. Last day tomorrow to catch Studio 666.
Is it really?
Yeah, apparently so. So there we go.
Hey, only a week, man.
Yeah. And back to the comment before from DB. Lee's gone. Masturbation doesn't count. Good point. But Michael has said, I agree with the death scenes. Brendan, they were fantastic. So there we go. So Michael and Brendan are giving it a very healthy review here tonight, which is very, very cool. So if you get a chance tomorrow, go and see the movie and let us know how you go with it. But I think that about wraps you up, doesn't it, Brendan?
Yeah, now I got to fuck off. Leave it on the high point.
Do you want to put anything in the bin before you go?
Oh, shit. Let's keep it simple. Russia, get in the bin.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I generally don't like to talk politics, but Russia can get in the bin.
Yeah, or Putin. Fucking idiot.
You're putting it in the bin.
Yeah, put in the bin. Put in the bin.
Yeah. Not the good people of Russia.
No.
Just the cunts running the place.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we let you go?
Peace. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, likewise.
Cheers,
Take
man.
care, man. We'll see you soon, yeah?
No worries. Take it easy.
Cheers,
Catch you
mate.
later.
Enjoy, lads.
Yeah.
See you, mate.
Bye.
There we go. A bit of fun. All right. DB's responded to Lee going, jealousy is a curse. So I can imagine that one's going to go off in the comments. So have fun, boys. And Andrew's gone over tomorrow off, so sorted. So there you go.
No.
All righty. We're going to be here for a little while. Yeah, we've got a few singles to talk about and a few albums to talk about too. So hopefully you guys are up for a little bit of a session. We're going to try and do this as quick as we can now. It's been fun though. First single we're going to talk about tonight is Evergrey and their new one, Save Us. So I'm going to copy this. There we go. And I'm going to paste it in the so it's in the comments. It's Evergrey, Save Us. All the links, all the bands talking about now are going to be in the description box as well. So if you miss the link or you're not with us live, just check it out. It's in the description box. You can find it there as well. So Evergrey, Save Us is the new single. And Dave, you didn't like the last time we talked about the vocalist from this particular band.
Another project.
Yeah.
I like Evergrey and I like the singer. I just didn't like his side project. We'll ignore that. This is pretty good. Vocal performance conveys the emotion of the song really well. He is a good singer. He's an emotional singer. So when done right, it can work very effectively. Solo in this is really good. I did like that. But overall, as a complete song, it wasn't all that memorable. I listened to it a few times. It's good. It's good when you're listening to it, but then you think, well, there was no real hook or nothing that really stayed with me, which is disappointing because I love their previous album. So hopefully the upcoming album, I think this would be off, will be a bit better than this. But as a first single for the upcoming thing, it's not really doing much for me yet. It might grow on me.
Interesting. Oh, for the record, the new album, A Heartless Portrait, is actually due in May. So they pumped out a second one after releasing one last year or something as well. So they've just been smashing that. So their new album, A Heartless Portrait, is due in May. Tim, how'd you go with it?
I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I loved it. And the thing is, right, so the first time I listened to it, I was kind of like, yeah, look, it's okay. Then by the time it got to the end, like that last chorus, and then when it tapered out, I was just like, okay, I need to listen to it again because there was a point where it got good.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, it's a tension and release song, and it's that build tension, releasing the chorus, build tension, releasing the chorus, and the choruses get more and more frequent as the song goes on, so it leaves you on a high note. And that's why, you know, when I listened to it for the first time at least, at the start of it, I'm like, yeah, it's okay. But then by the time I got to the end, it's like, well, got to go back to the start and figure out what just happened because it was really, really good. I thought the vocals were fucking great. I thought the chorus was just the perfect melody. I think the little things, like I thought the tempo for the song was perfect.
Yeah,
like it just sat in the sweet spot. It grooved nicely. Everything was great. I love this song.
No, I think it's a fantastic lead single. I'm surprised the hook didn't grab you, Dave, because I got the feeling as Tim got there, like the way it built. Like Tim says, the build and release of the song itself is good, but the way the whole song cycles up toward the end of it, and the way that hook just gets embedded, I thought that was really done. And the emotive performance in the vocals just sold it for me.
So good.
It's an Evergrey song. I like how Evergrey have a distinctive sound too. Like you hear them and you know who it is. And that to me is one of the better things about this band. But it sounds like them. And the way they build and drop songs in general, but also their albums. I just love the way Tim put it best, the tension and release aspect that they do so well. I thought was stunningly well done on this song. It sounds great. It's got a great hook. The performances are fantastic. I'm keen as fuck for the new album on the back of this one. So yeah, it did a lot for me. I'm definitely keen to check out much more of this. We can a couple of singles for the album drops. I'm looking forward to those. But then the album is going to be definitely a must listen for me because I love the band in general, and this is just another stellar song from a band that, for me, this band can do no wrong. So I love what they do. So yeah, another fucking winner for mine. Moving on to one that I know that Dave will like. We'll get to that in a second. Conrad said, I saw Evergrey when they came out here years ago. They played the Hi-Fi or Max Watts. They were good. I like this song. Very good. Nice. Glad you liked it as well. I would love. That's a band I add to my list to see live too. Evergrey would be one, and Symphony X too. Those are two bands that list.
That'd be cool.
Here we go. Andrew's gone. The Evergrey song grabbed me right from the start. I like it. So there we go there too. So Dave, give it another listen when you're feeling better.
I'll give it a few more minutes. Like I said, it might grow on me.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. Next up in the comments in the description box is the latest from Aussie band Lagerstein. So Dave, we'll get to you in a second, but the new song is called Lagerphone. So this is the band Lagerstein. The song is Lagerphone. And Tim, we'll start with you. How'd you go?
This was weird. I'll tell you what, now I love Lagerstein. I think Lagerstein are a phenomenal band. However, this particular song sounded very much like a 2002 emo song.
Oh, I get that it's different. I don't know if I go that far.
Okay. No. Trust me on this one. The halftime breakdown-y chorus with that sing-songy vocal, and then the breakdown at the end of the song, which is just like one note, one power chord over and over again, just slowly building up into that last chorus. This was very much a 2002 emo song with folk instruments in the back and some, pirate. It's supposed to be pirate, but I don't know what the fuck a Lagerphone is, so.
Oh, you're kidding.
I don't know, what is it?
It's exactly what he's got. It's a stick that's got fucking bottle caps now to it, and you shake it.
So where does the phone part come in?
It makes sound.
All right.
Shake it.
Okay.
They've been around for years, decades. Like
okay.
You want
to have. Dave, we used to make those in school.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just.
We did not.
There's a generation gap here.
Now, again, I think for me, I like the song, but for me, again, it depends on what you think of. Emo bands. I think this sounds like Medina Lake. So, if you're like me and you heard it straight away and you liked it, cool. If you're not like me and I just mentioned it now, and then you go back and listen to it, and that's all you can hear. I'm sorry, but I just ruined the song for you.
Oh fuck. You done? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, cool. I if you know the band, you know what you're getting. If you like your sort of pirate themed rock and metal, this one's a bit more folky than a lot of the other ones too. But I like this kind of stuff. I love this band. Their live album was last year we reviewed that one.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal. So this is another good song for another great band. I do find the concept. My critique of the song is that the storytelling probably wasn't as good as other songs have been up till now. It was still fun, entertaining, all those things, but I just found I would like to hear this one in the context of an album, because I did the 25/7 concept album kind of thing a little while back too. So they can do really good storytelling. So for me, coming into it, knowing how much I love their storytelling, this one didn't quite grab me as much as previous songs did. But that said, again, I'd like to hear it in the context of the album before I really sort of settle on my opinion of that one. But for what these guys do, it's good, it's catchy, it's fun, it's energetic, it's just, it's a bit of stupidity, but what the fuck is wrong with that? I enjoy this kind of stuff, and yeah, it's a bit of a silly gimmick, but it's all good fun. And if you like this band, if you like this style, it's going to do a lot for you. If you don't like this, it's not going to change your mind at all. So if you like my family, my wife and kids hate pirate metal, I'm the only one that likes it, they will all hate this one. And this will not change their mind at all. But for me, I love pirate metal. This grabs me, so I enjoy it. I just say that, the only caveat I've got is that the storytelling isn't quite as good as I would have thought from previous ones. But again, in the balance of an album, it might have a bit more context, make a bit more sense overall to me. But it's a very small critique. These guys write great stuff. The performances are good as well. I like how the vocalist for the band is actually probably a lot better than you think, if that makes sense. Like he's really good at what he does. And it sounds like it's a bunch of stupid fun, but the way he's able to hold his notes and the tonation is very, very clever. So I really do enjoy what they do. And this song's another good song. If you like the band, you're going to be very happy with this. So definitely a good track to check out.
Dave.
Yeah, can I speak now?
Sorry, yeah, go on.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, I love this song. This is fantastic. And it's fun, upbeat, party, pirate metal. It has nothing to do with emo at all. Emo is yourself and feeling sorry for yourself. This is about getting drunk and being happy, especially with a Lagerphone. Now, thankfully, my whole family loves this band. My kids love them.
You're lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. My kids do the pirate dance with me when I'm drunk and drink the rum. It's fantastic. And we've been following what's been happening on their Facebook page. Captain Gregor got stuck on the island, and slowly they're unraveling him and what's happening up until the release of this video. So it's kind of a conclusion of what's happened. And my kids are really eager to find out, so that was cool. But I get Tim when he mentioned the breakdown section, but actually it reminded me of the breakdown section in Steel Panther's Glory Hole. It was funny because it's got this melody to when Steel Panther going, "Come, give your cock a chance. No need for romance. No, you're at the Glory Hole." It's similar. This puts me right in that mind, which is all fun. Steel Panther are fun and Lagerstein are fun. Types of fun, but still cool. Great hook in the choruses, great gang vocals and melodies. This would be a hell of a lot of fun live. Now, there's no guitar solo, but I don't miss it at all. You got the violins going ape shit and shredding. Shredding violins is cool, especially in pirate metal. Yeah. If you know this band, you know what you're in for. Crack open some rum, take a few shots, and drink up. Pirate metal, man. Lagerphone. And I had a fucked up weekend. I was planning to get this done, but it hasn't happened. But I'm ready to make my own. I've been collecting. It was meant to be done on the weekend. The Lagerphone will be done.
I want a photo, a video, something, Dave.
No, it's going to happen. The amount of time I hit my finger with the hammer.
I want to see this. That's going to be gold. All right, Dave. I promise. Sorry, mate?
I'll probably use an old piece of the fence to make the Lagerphone.
Yeah, a piece of the old fence or the piece that's on the current?
Oh, either or. Whatever I can get my fence.
Just get one that you make your Lagerphone and then have the rest leftover bottle caps on a particular pane of the fence. So it's walk
shit. Take it off the fence. Now I've got a Lager fence.
Lager fence. Fucking hell. There you go. I don't know how you're going to try to sell Julia on that idea.
But she doesn't know who I heard of. She just walked and there's all these big.
Oh fuck! I want to see whatever you come up with. How far it goes, I want footage.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
The whole knows up. Anyway, so what advertise? All
right. Comments quickly. Come back when I mentioned Symphony X. That's another band that Rowan would like to see tour over here too, which is very, very cool. Conrad says, this sounds like great fun to me. Keen to see them again when they next come to Melbourne. Yeah, they're a great fun live band.
They're coming.
Yeah, they've got a tour, I think, planned. I forget when, but yeah, they got something.
Or something over that side.
Yeah, I do know there's something coming up, but I'm not particularly sure when that. I think it's making up for the one they cancelled prior to everything going on. So, yeah, there is something. Follow them on the social. The links are there, and if you follow their YouTube page anyway, so there you go. Lee says, call them monkey sticks. So that's another one as well. And Nick says they're no running wild. So there we go. There's something different. And speaking of bands that Dave enjoys, and this is another one here. And I promise not to nearly forget you this time, Dave. Thanks for the. I'll put myself in the bin for that kind of shit there. Here we go. Sorry, before we do, Lee says, Dave, find an amputee and decorate his prosthetic leg with bottle caps. Instant instrument.
I don't even know I'm doing it.
Hey, Lee, I'm pretty sure you can help us find one. So if you can help us find one and see if we can make that happen, that would be fucking gold.
Hey, sorry, wrong leg.
Fuck. All right. Before Lee put in the comments, I put a link to the latest from Santa Cruz. If you missed it, it's in the description box as well. So the new single from Santa Cruz, which Dave has, is called Under the Gun. So Santa Cruz, Under the Gun is the next single we're going to talk about. And I won't forget you, Dave, but we'll go to Tim first because Tim can't really talk about the next one. So we'll go to Tim first.
Yeah, this is a cracking track. It's hard. It's hard to really fault it. It's just a great, solid hard rock song. I think, obviously, it's leaning into that sort of Sunset Strip thing a little bit, but it's also nice and aggressive. It's hard. Guitar player is a fucking monster. Unbelievable performance on there. And again, I'm assuming there's a new album coming out.
Yeah,
I believe there's an album.
Yeah, cool.
Recorded, yeah.
This is the perfect way to get people hyped up for it because this is an absolute cracker of a song.
Ooh. Cool. All right, Dave. The last couple have been a bit hit and miss with you, and you're a big fan of the earlier stuff from this band.
I love the original lineup of this band. They had 3 amazing albums, and album 2 and 3 were easily 10 out of 10s. This is good. This is much better than their 4th album, Catharsis, which new lineup, and that was bad. It's not as good as the original lineup or the original 3 albums. That was lightning in the bottle. That was something really special. This does tick all the right boxes. Archie's vocals sound good. His guitar playing's fucking amazing. Song's got a good hook. The energy's there. The solo's great. He plays everything on this. In fact, the whole album, he plays the entire thing. He wrote it all by himself. He played everything on it. So I don't know why he just doesn't call it.
One person helping him behind the scenes?
I think there was a producer or something. It may have been an instrument as well, but I think it's mostly a solo project. I don't know why he doesn't call it Archie Cruz. Santa Cruz is dead, I would be more comfortable if this was a solo album because trying to capture that lightning of those first 3 special albums, you can't do that. Archie's a talented guy. He's a talented musician, talented player. This is good. It doesn't have that X factor that those first 3 albums had that made them unique for me. Because those other 3 members of the band, they contributed stuff that gave it from good to great. But based off this, I'm excited for hearing what he's coming up with next. Because, the leading singles are usually the most commercial, and then there's usually a bit more bite and attitude. Usually get the songs full of fuck and everything. Because, profanity is something that they do really well. And there wasn't any on Catharsis, but the original 3 albums, they just have a style for it. I mean, it's childish, but it's part of who they were. And those gang vocals, the whoa that they usually do. As soon as this song came on Spotify, Wasted and Wounded came on. And I'm just like, that's the difference. From good and great. So, I'm more hyped for this band now than I was off Catharsis. I was before they were dead.
Yeah. Cool. Before I get my thoughts, Viking Girl over on YouTube has gone, Dave, have you got a fan strategically positioned for Purdy hair effects? Sorry, I just had to ask.
This is all natural. I'm outside and the rain's actually coming, so you might get the wet look soon.
Dave the Drowned Rat streaming live into your lounge rooms, folks.
And you got your sexy cold voice there happening. And...
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Yeah, Julia calls it the Barry White virus. Like,
you're gonna be doing the full-blown Michael Wincott soon is what you're going to be doing.
Can't get love, your love, babe, my darling.
Ain't good enough for your love, baby.
There you go. There you go.
I picked that shit up. I'll sound like Pete Steele covering Barry White.
Oh, that I want video of you doing that. But fucking girls going, oh, lovely. So there we go. So they're very impressed over there. All right, on to this single for me. The last album wasn't the best one. The albums before, obviously, are something else entirely. The last two singles prior to this one haven't really sold me. I forget the one before this one. It's like Wolf or something in the title.
Spell. I think it was Moonspell.
That was the one that was kind of electronica at the start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like really just what? Hang on, I'm not sure where you're going with this.
He was firing.
But sorry, Lee's dropped a couple of comments which are fucking hilarious. But the so from I'll get to those in a second. But the what I find really cool about this one is the energy. Like this one has nothing like that electronica kind of influence. This is actually a full-blown, straight-ahead, in-your-face hard rock track. And there's a comment here about Lee's put it here. He's gone, they're back with a vengeance, but Archie's vocals are a bit flat. I get what you're saying with that, but I think the vocals are good for what they're doing. I don't think they're quite as dynamic as they've been in the past, but I think that's more about what Dave said in the backing vocals not being as dynamic as they were in previous releases. But from where we've come from with the last two singles, which even Archie himself has admitted they didn't go anywhere near as well as he was hoping for them to go over the last 12 months. So he's come back with a new song and it's just fucking bang. And I reckon if the album is more like this, then there's definitely a lot more hope on the horizon. So this is one where the last two singles, I can understand them getting negative sort of feedback. This one, I'd be surprised if, unless you're a really diehard fan of the old band, that you wouldn't enjoy this one. I think this, if you like hard rock at all, this is a song will definitely get your attention pretty quickly. It may not be the most riveting song in the world, but it's very well done, very energetic, very catchy, and I definitely enjoy it while Dave's hunting mosquitoes and going for the meat group effect from Encino Man. You gonna light your candle? You gonna light your candle?
Here we go.
Citronella, here we go. We're gonna get Dave's getting mood lighting going now as well. So for those that wanted to see his hair and his gravelly voice, and he can't even light a fucking candle. We're gonna watch Dave struggle to light a candle, but no, I enjoyed the song a lot. So for me, out of the three new tracks we've heard before this new album's coming out, this is the one that's definitely got my attention the most. So yeah, very happy with this one. Very cool track. If you like hard rock at all, give it a go. It's a good, solid track.
We're gonna go from the wind look, the wind tunnel look, to the wet look, to the singed look.
Yeah. Thank fuck this isn't smell-o-vision, because burnt hair fucking sucks as a smell.
A friend of mine burnt his hair in science class, analyzing a candle.
What?
Yeah, he's take notes on a burning candle just for observation, learn how to do observation and whatnot.
Yeah,
because we all had long hair back in the day.
Yeah,
so he puts his head close to it, just like crackling sound.
Oh my!
And he pulls his head away, and the crackling sound stops. And then he puts his head closer, and the crackling sound starts again. He's like, "Oh, this is odd." His hair was on fire.
Oh my god! Fucking hell! One of the here we go, fire pit stories. One of the funniest things I used to do was I used to smoke, and there'd be massive fire pits. My hair was a lot longer than it is now. It was like down to my waist. And so I'd walk up to this fire barrel or fire pit and light my cigarette off of that with my hair almost line. And I would never, ever even singe my hair. I could light cigarettes off a fire without burning a single hair on my head. So it was
my God.
Skill developed, and I had fucking long hair back then. And so that was that. Oh, here we go. So Lee's gone, is this the Rob Lowe channel when you boys are singing before? Get a room, boys. So with the Barry White stuff going. Oh, Mike, he's gone, hi, Jim Biscuits. So there we go. Hey, Mike, good to see you here. We're going to talk about your new song in just a second. And Lee has gone, careful, Dave. We know what happened to Michael Jackson. So, yes. Out of a light bulb.
Move the Pepsi away from Dave.
Yes.
Stop it, you're being ignorant.
Oh, fuck. All right, here we go. So Dean's gone, yep, my mate's hair caught fire from lighting a Bunsen burner in science. How the fuck did you light your hair on fire? I've never done it in my life. Anyway, moving on. Let's go to the song we just briefly prefaced there. So, Mike, I'm glad you're here. Tim, I'm glad you're here as well. The new song, or the latest one in the comments now, it's in the description box too, is Arcane Saints, which Tim is proudly a member of. They have a new album coming. We'll get to that in just a moment, but the new song is Satellites. Tim, tell us a little bit about the inspiration for the song when the album's coming out.
I think, this song kind of, it was the obvious one of the obvious choices for a single on the album, but I think it's also representative of the album, which I think this is just sort of our thoughts and feelings and us as people, as a band, growing up together over the past 5 years, and just our thoughts and experiences of our lives, put to tape. It's been very cathartic for us to put together, and it's also been a lot of hard work and a bit of a pain in the ass at times, but we're super proud of it. I think it's the best thing the band's ever done, and as a lead single, I'm super proud of this song. I think it's fantastic how it came out. I think Shane did a great job recording it, and I think I'm looking forward to showing the album to you guys, which will be out March 17th.
Cool.
Yeah. And there's a pre-save link for that too, isn't there, on your socials?
Yes, there is.
Yep, beautiful. All right, if you want to quickly PM me that link, and I'll share it in the comments as well. Send it to me on Facebook. While Dave, give us your thoughts on the new single from Arcane Saints.
Yeah, it's so good to hear new music from this band. It's been a while, and can't remember how long I've been a fan of this band, but yeah.
Now,
This is an instant earworm. I put it on when the link was shared, and I have to admit I had Halos stuck in my head all day, which was a good thing because it's very cool. Nice melodic melody throughout the verse, and there's a cool swing to the drums that kicks in about halfway through the second verse. And whoever the drummer is of this band, he seems to know what he's doing because it sounds pretty damn good.
Cheers.
The guitar tone. You're welcome, man. The guitar tones are awesome. I love the little muted notes in the main melody. Well, that was very cool. Gave a bit of dynamics to the song, and overall, it's a really bit of a moody piece, which fits the subject matter. And I thought the video was pretty well done to it. To have an overall vibe for what they're going for. And I'm really looking forward to the album off the back of this.
Cool. Well, in the comments, I'm now putting the link tree to This Is Primal, the pre-save for the album. So make sure you get around that. Follow those links in the comments now. For me, it's funny how, forgive me, it was Turning the Tide. That was the last album. Was that correct?
Turning the Tide was the last full-length album, and Juniper, there was a Juniper EP after that.
Yeah. So this really does pick up nicely after those two. I mean, you've had a couple of singles after that as well. And so for this single, I like how you've leaned into the hook, which is really, really cool. I think it's very infectious, very catchy. But there's a bit of weight, and like you were saying about, growing up and that, there's a bit of weight and a bit of meaning, and the lyrics are well crafted on this song too. It's one of those ones where it's catchy, it'll stay with you, but it'll also make you think a little bit too, which is pretty cool. I enjoy songs that do that because it means that you're feeling something, you're listening to it as well, that's for me when you get a really good song that's really well written, and also so like you can talk about the production, like Shane Ray, I'm assuming is who you did it with at Light Hill. We all know you're going to get great sounds out of there. But yeah, this just humor me here, Tim. You say it's indicative of the album, so are you leaning more into the hook effect, or are we going to get a bit more like, because you've also had a lot of diversity over the years too? So where do you think the album's going to sit in that space?
The term, how do I put this?
Here we go.
So when I first joined the band 5 years ago, which was just after Juniper came out. Now, at the time, I was a fan of the band beforehand, and that's how I got the gig. We played together for with my older bands, and I don't know if this is too much inside baseball. So if this is too much, so Mike, smack me around if this is too much. But at the time, we felt like we probably were not being as good of a band live as we could have been.
Mm.
Some nights we were the best band in the world, and some nights we weren't. And one of the things that we thought that we could improve on was sometimes we're a little too focused on, down tuning our guitars and turning everything up as loud as possible and just blasting the shit out of the PA. When we thought one of the things that could make us a better band was to actually focus more on sitting back and writing good songs.
Mm.
And everything from the past 5 years has been leading up to this and sort of learning how to write those songs rather than, relying on just tuning down and just playing 2-note riffs and making a big chorus and calling it a song.
Yep.
So I think, sort of starting with Black Limousine and then going from, Something Real and The City, which those two were at one point going to be lead singles for an album, which came out here, was more or less us as a band, learning how to write songs together and learning how to do the little things like Dave said, the little swinging bits in the chorus, the little guitar parts that float in and out at different points, the little harmonies, little learning how to do all those things, learning how to write songs together as a band, and making sure that from a live perspective and from a record perspective, we were being the best band that we could possibly be.
Because what's been interesting for me, and Mike, I know you're here because he's gone, thanks for the kind words, and also you don't have to worry, Tim, because he's gone, well said, Tim, so there you go. Mike, it's well deserved. I've been following you guys for as long as we've been doing the show, pretty much. Mike, at the back of a pub, was the first interview we ever did on the show. The footage came out fucked. The lighting was terrible. The audio was bad. It was a very bad... It was a good learning experience for me editing-wise, but just in terms of, you go back through what you did in the beginning and it's like, oh, fuck, that was woeful. But it's been real, like what you said just there, Tim, actually really does mirror what I've seen from the outside looking in, how there was a propensity to sort of push things volume-wise, gain-wise, and intensity-wise. And over the years, you haven't lost any intensity in the subject matter of the songs, but you've learned how to, as a group,
well, that was the other thing too. Is being intense sound-wise is one thing, but how do you go to that to writing good songs while still being an intense performer?
Yeah,
and working on that as well, making sure as a band we're interacting with each other, interacting with an audience, and it's all just been a process of us learning and growing together. And I really feel like this is the culmination of everything coming together. And like I said, I'm really, really proud of how everything came out. I'm really proud of Mike and Sheep and everybody who worked on this album. And, I'm stoked with how it came together. I think it's the best thing that the band's done. If I ever do anything this good again, I'll be really happy.
Nice. Well, yeah, for me, from the outside looking in, like I was saying, like what you're saying mirrors exactly what I'm seeing. So the singles that have come out since Juniper, the EP, and how you've still kept some intensity, there's a bit of darkness, there's a lot of light, there's all that light and shade being thrown into there as well. The lyrical content, the hooks, though, are what makes this, that seductive listen. So it drags you in at such, when this song is more of the same. It has a way of bringing you in, and then, like I was saying before, making you think a bit, which is really, really cool. And if this song is anything to go by what the album is coming up with soon, then very, very keen to give this one a full-blown review, and we'll make you sit through that one, Tim, I'm sure. Like we do with everything that's on the show. But no, I'm stoked with how this has gone, the journey for the band up till now, but also because this will be the second full length for the band overall, won't it, Tim? Correct?
Yeah, second full length.
Yep.
There's 3 EPs floating around somewhere. If you can find the first 2 EPs, you're a very lucky person.
I think I've got at least one of them kicking around somewhere. But yeah, no, this one is really just and the thing about the journey for the band is that this single feels like the next natural progressive step for the band, which is really cool that since Juniper, the progression of the band has been very organic and natural. All the singles have sort of paved the way for this album to come out now. So I think that from what you're saying on the outside is matching what I'm seeing. So you're on the inside is matching what I'm seeing from the outside. I think that, this could be that really nice sort of apex kind of moment for you guys, and this song sort of leads me to believe that it could well be. So I'm stoked. I think it's a great single. I like the lyric video too. It's a very well done video, a clever little thing. It was nicely put together.
we've had some fuck ups with the music video. So
the one you
the
mentioned.
lyric video, Mike actually threw it together last week, so
cool.
he deserves huge credit for that.
There you go, Mike. Well done.
There's a reason why there's a video out today.
Nice. Well, there you go. Well done, Mike. And congrats all around on another great song. Looking forward to the album being officially released. Very, very keen to get stuck in on that one. So there we go. So make sure you pre-save the album, folks. The link is in the comments. And we'll get to some comments here as well. So Andrew has said, if Satellites is an indication of what the album has in store, then I'm excited for it. Awesome. Conrad has said, I can dig this very sing-along, feel-good vibe. Nicely done as well. And Dean says, we'll pre-save the album, Tim. Got to help the local scene. And Dean, you are very, very good for that.
Cheers. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Andrew also said, I first saw Arcane Saints' support for Tequila Mockingbird. That is why I always try to get to gigs for the support bands. They are often this awesome. So there you go. Yeah. Great band live. If you get a chance to see Arcane Saints live, do it. They don't play that often. So make sure you get out and take the chance.
Yeah, everyone's a big one, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's the idea anyway.
That's it. That's the goal. But no, you've done well there, and you should be proud of that song, and I'm glad you are, because I'm looking forward to this one finally seeing light of day. It's been a little while for you guys, so very, very keen for this one to get out there. Here we go. Nicole's gone. Very awesome, Tim and gang. Neat and tidy, and very cool. And
Thanks.
Mike's gone. Thanks for the support as always, guys. Man, you're more than welcome. You're a great bloke. Love helping good people out there as well. So more than happy to do what we can in that regard while the rain has started to come down over here in Mill Park. All righty. So, Dave, it's probably on your way soon. Let's move on to our first review. We'll get through these ones now. And then, Dave, I'm sure you want to be heading off to sleep because you've I'm trying to not keep you awake too long tonight, but we'll see how we go. First of three reviews is Frankenbok. So in the comments, in the description box, you're going to find a link to Frankenbok and the new single Rolling Dice on Dirty Streets. It's a new video and single from the album Overdose. That is there. So Frankenbok, Rolling Dice on Dirty Streets is your reference track while Dave shushes the smoke away from his candle there. Nicole's gone shush, no mention rain. I do apologize. Yes, you've probably heard more than enough from that up there. We don't need to mention it down here. Alrighty, so this is Frankenbach Overdose. 10 tracks, 36 minutes. The 7th studio album from the Melbourne band, released February 2022 via Fair Dinkum Records. Mixed and mastered by Luke Walton at Danger Tone Studios in Melbourne. One single has so far been released in Rolling Dice on Dirty Streets. This one comes after yet another lineup change, with the band stripping down to a 4-piece this time around, and vocalist Dan McDougall returning to the fold. And this album was apparently thrown together in a matter of days, I think, in the studio as well. So, Dave, let's go to you first on this one.
Okay. Matter of days. This is really well done. What? That's impressive. I haven't heard much from this band as I should, but what I have heard I liked. I remember it would have been mid-2000s, a friend burnt me a disc, and she said, look, listen to this band. They're local band, Frankenbach. You'll check them out. Give them a listen and you'll probably like them. And I did. And then I don't think I've heard really much from them since. Shame on me. If you like it heavy and aggressive with lots of groove and swing, then you're going to like this band. What they do really well. The songs are filled with pounding drums and there's lots of riffs, but there's lots of space as well in what they're playing. There's some breathing room, but it's very harsh and aggressive, which is really hard to pull off those two things at the same time. Vocals are cool. I'm not a massive fan of the harsh vocals in general, but what this guy does is done really well. Performances are really intense, and you can understand the words he's saying, which is always important, for me at least.
Yeah.
I like them a lot, like lines they use in their songs. They complement the riffs and give that extra dynamic. And in terms of guitar solos, they're not wasting any time or space. They just get in, get it done, and get back out. Songs aren't all that lengthy, but with this type of music, they don't need to be aggressive. Yeah. They're very melodic as well. Guitar solos. Confidence Man and One Last Breath. Those guitar solos were outstanding. I thought they were very cool. Cool guest vocal on the last song for the song Black Iron Prison. Totally different tones and different vocal styles, but I thought they worked together really well. It's 38-minute listen, and it's really easy to listen to over and over again. Gave it 8 out of 10. War of Attrition, The User, which reminded me of Metallica's My Apocalypse. I got that vibe from it. Okay. Late 15, Black Iron Prison are my standouts.
Cool. All right, Tim. Now, just a quick question for you before you get stuck into your review. Did you get the same sort of sludgy down vibe that I got?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yep.
Now, for the record, right? If there was a band that there is no band that I've seen live more than Frankenbach.
Mm.
Right? It's in the at least 20, at least.
Yeah.
And part of that is longevity. They've been around for a long time.
25 years now.
But part of it is also they're a consistently good band. I don't think I've ever heard any album from these guys that I thought was bad. I thought everything has their place. Everything's well thought out. Everything's really good. And this is more of the same. Azza knows what he's doing. He knows how to put together a good album. He's a great riff writer. I thought the solos are great. I thought Dan's return to vocals were really, really good. I think he's a great singer as well, to be honest with you. I think he's got a very nice, smooth growl going on.
That's
and again, like you said, this one has a little bit of sludgy vibes, but it's also still maintaining the that kind of groovy, semi-thrash, semi-90s groove metal thing that they had going on the last time Dan was in the band.
Yeah.
But for me, the way I would sum this up is, for me, this song sounds like a $10 pint of cup.
Yeah.
It's just a good classic cross-section of Melbourne metal. And I think these guys are quintessentially Melbourne metal scene in a box. Yeah. And I have a real soft spot for these guys. And I always look forward to everything they do. So glad they put this album out. I think it's a fantastic listen. 8.5 out of 10. Our Last Breath, The User, and Black Iron Prison were my highlights.
Cool. Well, let's make it 3 from 3. This is a fucking cracker. The funny thing for me is I enjoyed Vicious Lawless a few years ago, and I was surprised by the lineup changing back after that one because I thought they were onto a winner with that. But that said, I can hear why they did, if that makes sense. Now, I love Vicious Lawless. This is not a knock on Vicious Lawless. I think that's a fantastic album. I just think that what they've done with this one is they've brought back a bit more, where Vicious Lawless is a much more direct and attacking kind of a record. This one has more focus on groove and melody. And it's not to say that it's anything like it's not a soft listen. It's just that it is that very much of that's why I mentioned Down before. It's that sort of aggressive, sludgy. There's a bit of melody to the smooth growl that Tim said before. There's a lot going on in this, even though the songs are short and punchy. There's some energy, intensity, but melody and, intelligent songwriting, if that makes sense, within this. It's for these guys who've been around for as long as I have, they've done a lot of different stuff over the years too. And I think that what's cool about this album is you can hear a bit of everything for the last 25 years in this album, along with where they're going to go next. So they never do two things that are entirely alike. They always have a bit of growth in them. And this is another step in that direction for these guys. There's a great mix on this too, which it captures sort of a semi-live vibe, which I liked that about this one because if you've seen this band live, which Tim clearly has, and I've seen them too, they're fantastic live. But when you see them live, there's this intensity and the way the sound bounces off. I think that's captured really well with the way they've recorded it. But also stripping down to a 4-piece has really sort of leaned things up for them as well. It's just there's not a lot of tricks going on. It's just short, sharp, punchy tracks that are just in your face, but got some hooks in there as well. And I don't know if you like anything aggressive at all, but you still want to have a bit of melody in there, this is one of the ones that's really going to get your attention. Lyrics on this are fantastic. They've got lots of bite, plenty to say. Dan is an intense vocalist, but he does a very good job. And when I interviewed him a few years ago, he was always of the thing where it's, you feel my wrath, not feel my pain. And he very much still does that. But this one also has a bit more of a, not an introspective shift, but there's a bit more of a, don't know quite how to put it. It's not quite as full-blown aggression as previous releases have been. There's a bit more.
I think they've adjusted their songwriting a little bit to suit the 4-piece.
Yeah, that actually is probably a good point.
Well, there's less aggressive riffing and a bit more sort of backbeat focus.
Yeah,
and
that makes sense.
And I think that's sort of giving it a bit more space and a bit more,
Because there's not a lot of flashy lead work. What the lead does is very nicely done, but they've definitely played this in that kind of Pantera vein, where you got the bass and the guitar and they're separate channels. You're not trying to fucking overlay a bunch of shit on this. You're just trying to play what the band actually does. And it's real, it's intense, it's honest, but it's very well done. And I just think that adding that sort of sludger, or bringing back, I should say, more than adding to, but yeah, bringing back that sludgier side of thing is really nicely done on this one. I don't know, if you like it heavy with melody, give this one a go. There's some great timing change in this one too. I like the way the timing changes in the songs really did bring about that punch, that the kick that, to really make a song stamp itself in your mind was a really nice touch. But they had some great hooks in this too. I think this is a fantastic record. If you like anything heavy at all, give this one a go. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Confidence, man, that riff and that hook is stuck in my head straight away. The Power Process and Heart with Fire were my other standouts in this one too. But fuck, I asterisked a whole bunch of songs in this one. This is a great listen from start to finish, and I think it's an interesting move to go to the 4-piece, but they've got that little bit of a punk edge to them now as well, which is a nice little addition to their sound too, which I think works really well on this one.
Which is good, because I mean, you kind of got a little bit of that on Murder of Songs way back then.
Yeah,
they were 4-piece for that album as well, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of got, Night in the Fog, the new version, but without being.
Yeah, you can hear a bit of all the 25 years in this album. It feels like that whole everything is in this pot now, and they've got it sussed out, which is really cool.
I love these guys. They're just a fascinating band to listen to. Like you said, every album is different, and just a good solid band.
Yeah.
One of those bands where if they weren't Australian, they'd be making a solid living for themselves with music.
If they were in US or Europe, they'd be smoking it right now.
Oh man, because like how many overseas bands you've seen tour and Frankenbach play them off the stage?
Exactly. Fucking shitloads of them.
Which is why I've seen them so many times. Why wouldn't you see them? They're playing up the road and fucking $10 and
yeah. If you haven't seen Frankenbach, Dave, you have to go and see this band play live. It's a different game. It's just a different.
They're better than most Melbourne metal bands, and I think most Melbourne metal bands are fucking awesome.
Yeah, they're up there. They're a shitload of fun too. They're really good at what they do. I
remember there was a few years ago they played a show where they filmed it on. This would have been just before The End of All You Know came out.
Oh, yep.
And they were doing songs from that, and there was like a double headliner with them and Dreadnought.
Yeah.
At the Prague in Thornbury. It's fucking incredible. One of the best local gigs I've ever been to.
Yeah, that would have gone off. The Prague was a great venue too. All right. I'm not mentioning the weather, so we're going to skip from that one. But Dean says, got to see them live, hear great things about the live performances. So there you go. You're hearing more from us now. But he also says, great to hear a band going into the studio and knocking out within days. That's how it's done, which is a very cool trick there too. But Nicole says, I enjoy these guys. Never fail to put in a great show. So, yes, they are very, very good at what they do. So don't miss. This album's had a bit of a softer release, wouldn't be fair to say, Tim?
Frankenbach.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, because I remember when The End of All You Know came out. And they had the huge pre-order thing, and they had the posters, and I remember it had the T-shirt and all that stuff. Whereas this one was kind of like, nobody got an email for it. And it was just like, oh, I got an album out. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know what happened on the promo side of this one, but yeah, it's a different one.
But it's been starting to get a little bit more momentum the last couple of weeks, at least that I've seen anyway.
Yeah.
They've got, the usual merch and T-shirts out. So if you dig it, chip in, and I'm sure, that way we get more Frankenbach in the future.
Definitely. Andrew's gone, Frankenbach are awesome live for sure, which is cool. Dean says, any gigs for them coming up? I'm not over that right now.
They do.
Tim might know better than me, yeah.
They do have some gigs coming up in this weekend, actually, I think.
All right. Well, while Tim pulls that up, I'm going to quickly jump into the comments and put the next video to talk, or next reference track for everyone. So the next band we're going to talk about is HammerFall. So the reference track for them is Brotherhood, which is a brand new clip for them. So HammerFall is the band. Brotherhood is your reference track. We're going to get to that review in just a second. How you going there, Tim?
Yeah, playing Sydney and Newcastle this weekend.
Okay, cool.
So if you're in Sydney and Newcastle, check that out. We'll go to 2BH for Melbourne.
Okay, cool. All righty. just keep following them. Make sure you follow the band, and you'll be able to keep up to date with it because they do that stuff very, very well. All right, next review is HammerFall, Hammer of Dawn. 10 tracks, 46 minutes. The 12th studio album from the Swedish band, released February 2022 via Napalm Records, produced by band members Frederick Nordstrom and Oscar Dronjak at Castleblack Studios and Hansen Studios in Sweden and Denmark. 3 singles have been released, including the title track and Venerate Me, which features a guest spot from King Diamond. This band have been busy. They've released a revamped version of Renegade, a live album, and another studio album, all since 2019. And a big thank you to Chris Marek at Marek Media for sending this one through to us. We'll go to Tim first this time around.
All right. Okay, straight off the bat, this is one of the cheesiest albums I've ever heard in my life.
It's up
right?
there,
and it's not just the Dungeons and Dragons cheese. It's how they've managed to work in a hammer falling into the lyrics of virtually every song.
Yes.
It's fucking incredible. Now, I like cheese. So I was all over this. I thought this was brilliant. Yeah. And I like a good pun and I like a good dad joke. So when I saw the title Son of Odin, I was like, hey! Yeah. So I thought this was great. But yeah, it is, Dungeons and Dragons power metal. They're not reinventing the wheel. So if you're not a fan of it, steer away. However, if you're into it, then you're going to be all over this because what they do it very well. And while I say they're not reinventing the wheel, they just do some things a little bit different. I thought Brotherhood had a nice, some nice half-timey stuff going on throughout of it, and there's a little, things like that to keep you interested throughout the whole listen. But overall, I think it's a very good listen. I was very impressed with the pun work, working hammers and things like that to the lyrics. Son of Odin was definitely my highlight just because I thought the level of pun work was brilliant.
Yeah.
8 out of 10.
Nice. All right. Cool. I thought that'd go one or two ways. You either love it or you hate it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So that's.
Oh, this is one of those albums for sure.
Yeah, it is. So from that to Dave, how did you go?
Yeah, I was excited for this album on the singles that were released. Yeah. I mean, I haven't heard all that much from HammerFall in the past, and what I have heard, I've always liked, but never been all that inspired to dig too deep into their catalog. But based on these singles that were released, I was excited for this album. It certainly doesn't disappoint. This is fantastic. Melodic power metal with big choruses, memorable songs. I mean, the songs are just, I don't know what they've done this time around, but they just made them something special. It's all the same old cliches of power metal. You got the swords and the conquering mountains and castles and all that. But it's not at all, well, it is geeky, but it's done with enough conviction from the singer.
But that's wrong with that. Like, this is the good kind.
Yeah, it's like sitting down and watching Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones. I mean, it's totally different. It's unrealistic. It's escapism, but fuck, it's fun. And, the band sounds amazing this time around. The melodies are fantastic. The riffs are awesome. The gang vocals, this would sound amazing live. And that's where these bands always shine. You get a field full of metalheads in the rain, full of mud, fucking just going, yeah, Odin, conquering mountains, swords, and dragons. And, yeah, it's just fucking ballsy power metal. And the guitar solos are fucking shred fest. If you like your metal guitars, then you'll love this. Even if you want to ignore the lyrics, but fuck, it's fun. It's not full on. There was room for some slower songs like Not Today. That was a cool change of pace. And that one towards the end, Live Free or Die, that has an amazing chorus. That would be perfect for the field full of metalheads. Now, I've overlooked the band for far too long. And what I do know is what Tim mentioned about them mentioning hammers in all the songs in this album. I think they do for their entire career. From what I have heard of them, they do mention they do like 12 albums or whatever it is with that theme. And good
it's
on
like the beards with hammers.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Yeah. But 8.5 out of 10. Brotherhood, Hammer of Dawn, Not Today, Live Free or Die, and No Mercy were my standouts. Fucking great album.
Nice.
I'd love to see these guys do an interview. It was like, what's your favorite animal? It's like the bull shark. What?
What's your favorite Norse god? On that, just quickly, if I do anything strange at this point in time, it's because there's a lot of flash and thunder happening outside, and I've got a dog that's as big as me that does not like storms. So if anything dramatic happens, just bear with me for a second because he's okay at the moment. But when we had a big one go up before and he was just shitting himself for a second there. So if anything happens, just bear with me. I'll be back in a moment. But yeah, this one here, you guys have covered it off. There's all the classic cheese that goes with this, sort of power metal style, but they've done it really well. Like, it doesn't come off tacky. It comes off entertaining, fun, and engaging. It's a really fine line to walk, but they've done it incredibly well. If you like riffs, melody, all that kind of stuff, you want big gang vocals, big festival moments, this album has all that and more. I love the hooks, the riffs, the solos on this one as well. But the mix was really cool too. I loved how much space there was in it. It's really opened up nicely. There's a little bit of synth here and there, which is just, a nice little touch on things. Nothing over the top. It's all very well balanced. But I also like the vocal layering on this one, which, brings this whole grand effect to what's going on with these songs, which plays into the gimmick, obviously, but it is really well executed and makes these songs really vibrant. It allows the lyrics to come through, which has that bit of fun with the hammer stuff going on, but there's also some really good stories being told. It's fun, there's a bit of tongue-in-cheek about it, but there's the actual craft is incredibly well done. Basically, if you liked anything from the 80s power metal era, you're going to enjoy this one. If you don't like that stuff, this is not going to do anything to change your mind at all, but this is very well done. It flows well. There's nothing complicated about it. It's got the right peaks and troughs on the album as you go through it. But there was some really nice lead work on this, some great tones on this as well. And this is just a really good, solid, old school heavy metal album. It just, I don't know, like you get some tracks like Too Old to Die Young were like really sort of throwback kind of tracks, which were really cool to me. And I don't know, this is also, it's one of those ones where it's not one of those older bands. We'll get to Scorpions shortly, but this is another band that's been around for a while. And they just know how to bridge. This one isn't a throwing down the gauntlet kind of album, but it's one of those ones where they've bridged the eras of the time they've been around for. They've brought old, current, and mixed those worlds together really nicely. Not Today, Dave, you mentioned that one. That's a really nice ballad on this record. I really enjoyed that one too. And from top to bottom, while there's nothing new or really groundbreaking in this one, it's incredibly well done. It's well worth your time. If you like old school metal at all, if you like riffs, you like melody, all that kind of stuff, then this is one you got to check out because even the funny thing about having King Diamond sort of guest spot, it just blended in really, really perfectly. Like it was a really good little trick that they pulled that off. So this is just, if you love it old school, give this a go for sure. I reckon you'll enjoy it. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10 as well. No Son of Odin was also my standout there, Tim. That song is just really going to get
it's a great song.
It's a great song. But also Venerate Me with King Diamond and also Not Today, the ballad. I picked that one. I thought it was a fucking fantastic one. So yeah, there we go. Got some comments. What do we got here? So Andrew says that citronella candle is the world's cheapest smoke machine there, Dave. So that's one for you. Just occasionally. Yeah. Nicole says, love HammerFall. I'm a sucker for power and speed metal. So there we go. That's one for you. Conrad says, decent, solid, straightforward power metal. Won't buy it, but we'll always see them live as they're always great live band. This would be fun to see live, I reckon. This album would be a fun one to see live. It'd be a really good live set. Nicole's gone, yay, rain and mud when you guys were joking around before. And also poor Papa, yeah, he's a bit of a stressed out dog. He had a bit of a troubled life before he came to us, but he's all good these days. Andrew says, HammerFall, another one to add to the collection. There we go. If you're on Facebook, Cal has put a bunch of links in for Frankenbach dates. I can't share them properly on this screen here, but if you're on Facebook, check out the comments. Look for Cal because she's put up a bunch of Frankenbach gigs up for this weekend. So
I'll read that for you.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Tim. And Basher, thank you for joining us on Patreon too, by the way. You're a newest edition. I want to go and see one of their concerts. Swords, dragons, dungeons, castles. Awesome. Nice. Awesome. Very, very cool. Yeah, but again, thank you for joining us on Patreon. Very much appreciated there. I saw that.
Well, like Dave said, though, having a power metal band on a festival show always works. I remember seeing Sabaton play one of the downloads. I think it was the first download.
Yeah.
And you had like Gojira and Amon Amarth and Mastodon, and then stuck in the middle was Sabaton. And at first, it's like, this is a weird lineup, but half a song in, everybody's into it.
Yeah.
Just because it's that perfect breakup between everything. It's the perfect bridge gap between everything.
Yeah. You can have this band sorry, Dave?
I saw Sabaton open for Nightwish. I had no idea who they were, and they come out with all this fucking armor on, and we're like, what the hell is this? But halfway through the first song, everyone just gets into it. They win the crowd over every time.
Yeah, they're such a good band.
They're an impressive band. Add them and HammerFall to that list of bands I'd like to see come to Australia too. I'd love to see those two come out. That'd be a lot of fun.
So this Friday coming up at the Factory in Marrickville in Sydney.
Yep. Cool.
This Saturday night, Hamilton Station Hotel in Newcastle.
Nice.
And this would be so awesome. Frankenbach and Frankie's on Sunday night. Oh, man.
That'd go off.
They're playing with Ore and Garlic Nun. Fuck.
Nice.
That'd be so good.
That would be good. Thanks for that through, Cal. Really do appreciate it. That's a big chop out for us. Thank you for that. That Frankie's one will go off. That'd be cool. Conrad says he saw HammerFall at Wacken several times. They had a castle set behind them. It was epic. That's awesome.
That's so cool.
That's perfect. And that's what this band is all about, and that's what makes it work so well for them. But from that, we're going to change gears and move over to our headline band in just a moment. Sorry, Nicole's gone. Love Sabaton. Between them and Maiden, you could become a history major. Yeah, that's very, very true. Yeah. Sabaton in particular when it comes to war. I think they've got an album coming out a bit later this year, if I'm correct. I think I am. But we'll see. I'm pretty sure Sabaton have something coming out. And Cal's gone, you're most welcome. You lot. Thank you very much. Love you jumping in here and giving us some help there. So in the comments now, time to move on to the next band, our last one for the night. We're going to get out of here soon. You're going to find a link to the latest, or not the latest, sorry. I picked the title track for this one because the latest one is a bit more of a ballad, while another Roll of Thunder goes off and intrigues the dog. But yes, Scorpions with Rock Believer. That is the title track of the albums. That is the single I've chosen to be representative for this one as your reference track tonight. So Scorpions is the band. Rock Believer is the track. Going to move on to a headline act for this evening, which is Scorpions with the album Rock Believer. 16 tracks for 64 minutes for the deluxe edition, 11 tracks, 45 minutes otherwise. 19th studio album from the German band, released February 2022 via Vertigo Records. Produced by the band with Hans-Martin Buff at Peppermint Park in Germany. 4 singles have been released, including the title track and Peacemaker. This is the band's first studio album with Mickey D on drums and is the band's first new studio album in 7 years, making the longest gap between releases. But this one was impacted by the pandemic, which explains a bit of that time delay. Which one of you wants to go first on this one? Anyone?
Yeah, I'll go.
All right, Tim.
All right. Now, straight off the bat, Mickey D, great addition.
Yes.
Seeing that guy with Motorhead, he's fucking incredible.
He's a great drummer.
This is also one of those gigs, I think, that when they played with Whitesnake a few years ago, that came and went, and then once it went, I should have gone to that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us are in the same boat.
Yeah.
When I was listening to this, I think the thing that was going through my head, and this has happened for a few bands lately, or not lately, but over the journey of doing the show, and I think back to obviously Saxon earlier on in the year, and the Deep Purple album that we did, and the Blue Oyster Cult album that we did, and it's just one of those things where it's just like, Scorpions are a really good band, filled with really good musicians that know how to write songs.
Yep.
And you put them in a studio, and this band's been around for 50 years or something ridiculous like that.
50 plus.
I'm sure their earlier albums, they could have recorded it in a tin box or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And then you put them in a brand new studio, and they know how to use modern equipment to get good sounds, and then not use it not to cheat.
Yes.
So you get nice, clean, organic sounds with nice, great players writing very good songs and put together. And again, I mean, look, it's Scorpion's 19th album. I don't think this is going to go down as in everyone's top 10 albums. It may make some, but I don't think it's going to be in people's top 10 albums. However, it'll probably make most people's top 25.
Yeah.
I say. because it's a very good, solid album. Because there's, again, like I said, there's great musicians writing very good songs, and at that point, it's very hard to fuck up. My one criticism is I do think it's a little bit of a longer listen. A couple of times by the end of it, I did find myself wandering a little bit, but that's not due to the quality of songs. I think it's just it was just a bit of music to take in. At one point in time. Then again, that could just be the week for me. So listen to what the other two say for that. But overall, I think it's a very good listen, very solid listen. Definitely will go back to it. And again, one of those bands that, you know, if and when they do come down again, will not make the same mistake twice, and we'll head out and see them.
Cool.
Shining of Your Soul and When I Lay My Bones to Rest were my two highlights.
Nice.
And yeah, 8 out of 10.
Cool. All right. Dave, what about you?
Yeah, this is a great album. It's not just a great Scorpion album, it's a great rock album. I mean, as mentioned, this band's been around for half a century or more. They certainly know what they're doing, then they can certainly still perform and write. The theme tracks on the deluxe edition, I looked up on Wiki, the last 6, I think, are bonus tracks. And the
5 or 6,
standard album, but is about 48 minutes. And the only one available on Spotify is the deluxe edition. But, you know, some of the bonus tracks are just as good, and some of them are standouts. So it is a long listen. But you know, Scorpions haven't released an album in 7 years, so I don't think anyone's going to complain about more Scorpion music being released. I'd be happy with even more if it was at this quality. But yeah, this is just an easy listen over and over. It's one of those albums I chucked on the weekend while I was playing with my kids, chucked on the stereo, and we just, you know, even the kids were picking up on stuff, so I thought that was cool. And you know, the hooks are great, the guitar tone is killer, and lyrically they're telling good songs. I mean, it's nothing groundbreaking, it's rock and roll songs, but it's from the perspective of a band that's lived it and is still around to tell it. A lot of it's perspective, a lot of it's appreciation for what the music and the style and the light and the fans are giving them. And I just thought it was fun that, you know, the fans that have been around for such a long time and the band that's been around for such a long time has this kind of a thank you kind of, and you know, an appreciation. Some of the singles even are just, I've heard them a few times leading up to this, but hearing them on the album, it's just like, fuck, that's so cool. Like Peacemaker. What a great lyrical hook to that. It's such a heavy riff, and well, you know, just whatever band is playing this song, it's cool. It doesn't matter. You know, the thing that hits me a lot these days is ageism in music.
I agree.
Fucking hate that. You know, a lot of bands, if you can still perform, if you can still write, you know, nothing stopping. Not going to step aside just to make room for somebody else. But, you know, there's some great stuff on here. And as Tim mentioned,
you've got to knock them off.
Exactly.
That's it.
Mickey D on drums, as Tim said, excellent fit for this band. And you know, obviously he was with Motorhead, but he did do that one album with Halloween. So anything he plays on just adds a little bit of extra class to a band. And when you it's got as much class as this band, the Scorpions do, it's a perfect fit.
Was King Diamond's drummer too?
Yeah, was
pre-Motorhead.
Oh, yeah. One of the bonus tracks was an acoustic version of When You Know, and I think I prefer the acoustic version to the ones of the main. And I liked it.
Yeah, agreed.
It wasn't just playing an acoustic version of the electric song. They rejigged the composition. Rearranged it. And, you know, it's gave it an extra idea. There's a reason why you can have both songs like that on the album, because it's not the same song delivered the same way on a different instrument.
Definitely.
I thought, good variety of the songs. There's some different tempos. And I think the band sounds better on the rockier songs, but that's just my taste. I think that the slower songs are done great. When they kick in with something like Peacemaker, it's just this band still got it. They've got a lot of energy still in the tank. If you're a fan of the band or rock in general, you can't not be impressed with this album. Give it 8.5 out of 10. There's a lot of standouts because there's a great album. Gas in the Tank, Knock 'em Dead, Rock Believer, Seventh Son, Hot and Cold, Peacemaker, Call of the Wild, and When Tomorrow Comes.
Nice. All right. Cool. This one's getting a few comments. I'll get to those in a second. This is just good old-fashioned classic hard rock. Like it's not much more to add to the description of what the band is, what they sound like, and all that sort of stuff. It's just good old-fashioned classic hard rock, but brought into today. What Tim said before about how they've started out in the old tin cans kind of thing, and they know how to use a studio but not cheat. That's exactly on point. They just know how to write good songs, get in there and capture it perfectly. I think Mickey D is a great addition. He sort of, wherever he goes, he he doesn't make things rigid, but he just sort of straightened things up just enough. He just adds a bit of drive and a push, which is really cool. And this album has utilized that nicely. And the way this thing flows between the softer moments and the faster moments, like they've really got the track order just right. For me, I didn't find the expanded edition to be a long listen. I know it's 62 minutes already, but I didn't find that to be a struggle. I was actually able to repeat spin that quite comfortably. So I'm the opposite to Tim there. It actually really engaged me the whole way through. And I found, like Dave said, some of the songs on those 5 or 6 bonus tracks on the expanded edition to be really, like, they were album worthy. So I'm glad we got to hear them. If they'd have been just sort of left behind on the floor for however long, it'd be a shame. There's no bad songs on this. The mix is fucking fantastic. Nothing complicated. Not a lot of tricks going on. Just get good tones, mix it right. All those things are there. Klaus is still fucking smoking it as a vocalist. All the performances are great on this across the board, but it's hard not to admire a vocalist in this era of the age bracket still just smoking out on vocal. We've got a few of them going on these days now, and it's like, again, what Dave said about the ageism is like, forget the age these days. These guys just put it out there and they go off. This is one of those albums where if you're a fan of the band, this will make you happy. If you're not a fan of the band, it won't change your mind. But at the same time, it's one of those ones where if you haven't checked out a lot of the band's work, this is as good a place to start as any. It's a good little cross-section of a lot of their career to date. It's got great performances, great energy on it. I think Rock Believer for me is a standout track because even though you watch the video and you get the context of it all, but when you hear the song, even in the context, like where it sits in the album, it just brings back that it really does tug on the heartstrings kind of thing. It makes you feel nostalgic for what they're talking about. So they're telling stories from their point of view, but taking you along for the ride, which is a really neat trick lyrically speaking as well. Great hooks all over this one. The flow, like I said, is great. There's good riffs on this as well. Some nice lead work. I think the groove is killer when that kicks in. Great light and shade across this one in the writing. And like you've got the swing in things like Call the Wild for a different change of pace. That's almost a Led Zeppelin kind of feel to where that has some swing. It's almost Bonham-esque kind of the way that song is pushed along. Thought that was a really nice touch toward the end of the album as well. There's a lot on this. I think you can hear the impact of Mickey D on this one, like I was saying before, but I think it's a great addition in this context. But yeah, I don't know. I loved everything about this one, especially the album closer, both the acoustic version and the real version. It's a nice way to wrap things up in either context on this one as well. I think, they've got that whole thing where, you mentioned tracks like Peacemaker, where they drive the energy, they kick it in the gear and they go for it. But then you've got the heartfelt touches, which are nicely done too. And none of it's tacky. It's all really well done. This has none of the cheese. I mentioned cheese with HammerFall. This doesn't have any of that impact at all. This is just a straight up great songs, great performances, and it just works. You get a band that's this good for this long, you're never going to get a bad product. I fucking love it. If you like it old school but fresh, this is one you got to give it a listen to. I gave it 9 out of 10. Rock Believer, Seventh Son. I reckon that darker touch on the album was a nice one there. Call the Wild and Crossing Borders, one of the bonus tracks. I really did enjoy that one as well. So that was my standouts on that. So fucking great album for mine. So may not scrape into top 10s in the year, but yeah, Tim, definitely going to be a top 20 contender for sure, this one, by the end of the year, I reckon.
Well, when you said, if you don't like the band, it might change your mind. If you're a person who's heard Rocky Like a Hurricane and
Winds
of Change, and nothing else, it might change your mind.
Yeah, that's true, actually. That's a good point. That's why I made the point. If you haven't checked out much of their stuff, this is a good place. Yeah.
You'll probably come away from them going, they're a pretty good band.
Yeah, they're a very good band for mine. I've liked a lot of their stuff for a long time now. Got a few comments on this, like I said before. Nicole says, Scorpions have always been a great bunch of musicians. They've always been too mellow for me, but I appreciate Klaus as a vocalist, which is fair enough there too. Dean says, great album. Listen to this over the weekend. Listen to the deluxe version and loved it, even the acoustic version at the end. Mickey D, what a fantastic drummer. I saw them with Whitesnake last time they came. That would have been a great fucking show. Spewing, I missed that one. Conrad said, I don't own any of their albums, but saw them with Whitesnake at Melbourne. It was a great show. Great at Bloodstock 3 years ago as well, and great with Megadeth at the O2 in London. They never disappoint me live. Shows you who they can play with, doesn't it?
I know Mick from our crew went to it.
Yeah.
And I remember the next time I saw him, I just spent 10 minutes asking him about Mickey D and Whitesnake's drummer. He's a Tommy Aldridge.
Oh, yep.
And I'm just was like, I should have gone to that.
Yeah, and you both being drummers too.
Yeah.
That's a good one there. That gig, I'm spewing a miss that one. That would have been a fucking fantastic night.
too.
Yeah. Dean says, fun fact about the album, a lot of lyrics and song titles were written before any riffs were even brought in, which hasn't happened before for them. Very powerful lyrics. The band played live, all in the same room, which they haven't done in years. Okay, that's cool. I think you can kind of feel that one. It feels real. So, yeah. Dean's also said, Rock Believer reminds me of Raised on Rock as a continuous lyrical theme. You're not the first person to say that's a pretty common trend, that one there as well. Chris says, got my copy in the mail today. Look forward to playing it. Awesome. Hope you enjoy it. Back onto the ageism stuff here. Conrad's gone exactly. Just because a band is 40 plus years old doesn't mean they are washed up. Fuck off with that attitude. Definitely agree with that. Yes, David Fowler's got Mickey D also spent time in Dokken. That's true as well. He's been a fucking journeyman and a half, this guy. Again, a lot of love here. So Chris has got Mickey D, what a legend. Dean says, age shouldn't matter for 1 minute. If you can still have the drive and know you can do it, then why does anything else matter? Still kick ass. That's not just for Scorpions, but for all older bands as well. And we've had a few now over the last couple of years in particular that have gone, fuck you young ones, this is how we do it. And they've kicked ass. Dean says, Crossing Borders was a highlight as well, but the whole album was great. Nice. And Basher says, Whitesnake and Scorpions put on a great show of hard rock. The Scorpions guitar tone was special, and they put on a great show with plenty of effects. Nice. And here we go, more love for that gig too. Chris says, we're great with Whitesnake. We're better when they play at the Palais in 2000. That would have been great. Palais 2016, this band, fuck, that would have been good.
Yep.
That would have been special. But I think that brings us to the end of proceedings tonight. I know that Dave's probably sitting there counting the minutes down so we can get to bed in a second. So we won't be. Sorry?
I'm actually not that tired. We can go on night.
Cool. I'm being mindful of you not being all that well today, so I'm trying to be a bit more considerate for this time around. But take it while you can, because it won't happen very often.
Voice at the moment, it's a bit deeper.
Yeah, well, there you go. Just it's all getting down on tape, so you know you're gonna have this memory immortalized in digital format for all.
I'll play that for Julia when I want to seduce her.
Let me know how that works out for you. Privately, obviously, not in public. All right. A big shout out to our fantastic Patreon supporters. So Tim C, Sonia Donabella, Lee McDonald, Conrad here as well, Jason, Brendan, 16x9, Marty, Sam, Trash, Carolyn, Gwyneth, Andrew, Daniel, Man Family, and Belle. Thank you so much for your support. A big welcome to Basher, who's joined us in the last 24 hours on that platform as well. If you'd be so kind, I'm going to put the link in the comments now. Fuck, if it actually copies correctly, I'll be fucking winning if that happens. What have I done here? There we go. All right. So our Patreon page is in the links. It's also in the description box if you miss it now. Please do check it out. You get a lot in there. Normally speaking, not the last week, but normally speaking, you get sort of daily updates with a whole bunch of tracks and exclusive content, all kind of crap in there. So just please do check it out. Any help you can give us there is fantastic. We've been actually growing it a little bit nicely, which is allowing me to do a fair bit more over the time coming up. So any help you can give us there allows me to actually take some time away to focus on doing this more exclusively. So for the record, we all volunteer. I put in 40 plus hours a week into making sure it all happens and getting the editing done and all that sort of stuff too for TV and for online. So any help you can give us is directly actually helping us to get more done. So it would be greatly appreciated. Just check it out, see what appeals to you, and jump in there. While we're talking about this sort of stuff, a big thank you to our fantastic sponsors in Squitting, Shrimping, Old Cult, and Rockstar Finance. Their details are in the description box. Find them, like them, give them a follow or a share. Any of that sort of stuff is greatly appreciated too. While you're doing that sort of stuff, check out our details as well. They're in the description box. Like, follow, subscribe, share. Any and everything. Even if you don't want to help us on Patreon, interacting with us online is going to help us with all the fucking algorithm feeds and getting into the nitty-gritty of it all. Would love anything you can do in that regard. Even just sharing what you see of anything we do at any time is a great way to help us get the word out there and get more people paying attention to what we do. But I think that's about it. On Thursday night, we'll be back with another stream. So I should tell everyone what we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about the latest from Cobra the Impaler, Sirius Black, and the classic Black Sabbath album, Dehumanizer. That's the one. That's
what a band called Sirius Black.
Yep.
Cool.
I know. I know it's there, so it's in the playlist, Tim. You can check it out. Yeah, so
I just think it's wild that they're now like Pokemon not Pokemon, Harry Potter themed bands.
So you got Sirius Black, Cobra the Impaler. I reckon, Tim, you'll like Cobra the Impaler, but yeah, let me know how you go with that.
Yeah, it's a good sounding band title.
Yes, I think if you're a Mastodon fan, Cobra the Impaler will be one to get your attention. And yeah, like I said, the classic Black Sabbath album, Dehumanized. That's coming up on Thursday. Don't forget also 10 p.m. Australian Central Daylight Time on Channel 44 in Adelaide Thursday night. You'll be getting part 2 of our Whatever the Fuck We Want special we did the other week. And on Channel 31 in Melbourne Saturday night, we'll be doing a bunch of new clips. So just for quick reference here, if I can find it. There we go. So we went through Tim's little random Spotify playlist. So there's all sorts of stuff in here, including Saliva, Lagerstein, Limp Bizkit, Poppy, Red Hook, Ironstone, Reckless Love, Mastodon, and more. So there's heaps possibly coming up in that one.
Don't worry, you get Judas Priest and Maiden at the end. It's okay.
Yeah, it gets there. But that was just funny as fuck going through that with the way we filmed it. It was a lot of fun. And our next special at the end of the month, for TV, it'll be sort of Armored Saint 80s metal. And then for online, it'll be, I think it's Beatles versus Stones this month. So I've got to get that one sorted out. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with everything tonight. That's kind of what's coming up. And that's all the usual details. Everything I got to plug. I think that's about it. If I miss anything, I do apologize. I'm sure I'll make up for it in the future. But now it's time for everyone's favorite part of the broadcast, where we go to the bin before we get out of here tonight. So, Dave, let's go to you first.
Okay, I was at my local Woolworths doing the weekly shopping. Went to the produce section and you're getting your fruit and vegetables. And it appears that they've gotten some type of different bags that you put your fruit in. Put the apple in, it went right through the bottom. Okay, shit bag. I ended up putting something else in another bag and it went through that as well. So it looks like they got some type of new, probably environmentally friendly, cheaper plastic. Unfortunately, it's not bad for the environment because you need to use 2 fucking bags to keep your stuff secure. So the hell they're done to change this shit in the bin.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to work.
Nice. All right, fair enough. Tim, what about you?
All right, I was debating on whether or not to put this in the bin, but I'll put it in the bin.
All right, good.
It's too much information. Whatever. Short flies.
Right.
In the bin.
Right.
Like, when you need to take a piss, there are certain genes where the fly is too short.
Yeah.
And it's fucking annoying. Now, obviously, there are ways and means around this problem, but this should not be a problem.
Agree.
Like you should, like who wears their pants like that?
I don't know. Not me.
This is a huge problem that nobody's talking about, and it needs to stop.
Yeah. Good point. I agree. Nicely done. We got some comments coming through on some bin. We'll get to people's bin in a second. Mine quickly is going to be, when you get when you're watching a video clip and there's the guitar solos going off, and there's always that moment where the vocalist seemingly is a bit out of place, and they're always, especially the women, they're always needing to be in shot for whatever reason. It's like, don't focus on the guitarist when the solo is going. You have to get the obligatory shot of the chick headbanging, and it just looks fucking awkward. I'm just going to put that in the bin. It just always comes off looking fucking awkward. It never looks natural. It never looks engaging. Let the vocalist go back a little bit and just let the guitars take the front of the stage. That's what the solo's for. Actually focus on that for the duration of the solo, and don't have to have, because you get most of the rest of the song is on the vocalist. Just let that moment be what it is, and then everyone can get their fucking time in the light. That it just looks fucking ham-fisted. It's shit. Put it in the bin. That's it for me. Been wanting to bin that one for a while. Just because the amount of clips we get sent in, I see it all the time, and it's like it's obligatory. It's just fucking annoying. Rightio. Some bins from Nicole. So Nicole has gone, people who complain they didn't get a text message sent to them to let them know it may flood. Can nobody think for themselves anymore? Sorry to rant.
Yeah, they can't.
It's not that hard. If it's raining a lot, pay attention. Marco said I was going to say put that fat prick Clive Palmer, but it's only the bin, not the dumpster. Especially when he goes around buying fucking Hitler's goddamn Mercedes, the fucking prick. Didn't you hear about that? He bought Hitler's Mercedes. Fuck
Why?
it. I don't. Well, think about it. Why do you think? Now, the whole Clive Palmer, what a fucking dunce he is. He can, yeah.
Is this? But he's the guy who built a replica of the Titanic. Like, so,
and the dinosaur park too. That dinosaur park was something as well.
Yeah, like he's got too much money. It's just like it's tax the rich.
Yes.
This is what they should do. You know.
Yeah.
Clive Palmer has too much money. Let's just take money from him and use it to lower petrol prices or lower food prices.
Yeah. Agree. Here we go. The hard left show again. No, I agree, mate. I completely agree.
Like, come on.
Yeah. When you were talking about your fly issues before, Dean agreed with you, Tim. So there you go. And when it came to my obligatory shots of the chicks headbanging, yeah, that was Dean agreeing with me as well. Nick says, put Putin in the bin. Putin in the bin.
Oh, yeah.
That's a given, isn't it? Surely. And Nicole said about Clive Palmer, he got COVID. He's unvaxxed. Yes, dickhead that he is. And Dean says, what's the government coming to? Well, here's one for you all to pay attention to out there, just to take a second for a minute here. When the government are using GoFundMe to fucking do flood relief instead of just using the taxpayers' fucking money. Bunch of fucking pricks. They got $4 billion plus sitting in a fund and they aren't using it. They're doing a crowd fund. Fuck off. Just fuck off.
That's why we pay taxes.
That's exactly why. I've got no problem with taxes. Just put them to good fucking use. Drop kicks. Get rid of this lot next election. If I could say one thing, just get rid of these fuckers. Just fuck me dead. Rowan's gone. Palmer broke the Russian sanctions to buy that Mercedes. I did not know this. Okay, apparently he broke the Russian sanctions to buy that Mercedes. Fuck me dead. Jesus fucking Christ.
Was the Mercedes under, like, in Russia? Or?
In Russia somewhere, yeah. I don't know where it ended up.
Well, actually, that would make sense because, you know, Red Army storming Berlin.
Yeah, at a track.
Yeah. That would make sense.
Yeah. There you go. He's a all-round good bloke, this one. Fuck me dead. Dean says, bin fuel, $2 a $5 a litre. What the fuck? Yeah, well, you can get
right, man, I know.
Even diesel's fucking up there. I drive a diesel, and it's like, what the fuck?
Well, okay. Look, to be honest with you, I drive a Hyundai hatchback, so it's not really affecting me at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've got the twin cab Ute, so it's a bit like, oh fuck. But I only drive to and from work, which is like 5K away, so it's not too bad for me. But yeah, Jody drives all around town though, which is, you know, she's got a smaller car, so it's not too bad, but it's fucking insane now. Nicole says, hope his boat got trashed. I'm assuming that's about
Titanic.
There we go. Nick says, Fates Warning, Anarchy Divine, great video with crowds headbanging chicks too, mixed with the solid. I don't mind a live show. It's the studio ones I'm talking about. The live ones make sense.
You know what gets me? When the guitars aren't plugged in the music video.
Yeah, that's a bit silly.
I hate that. I hate that.
We should do like a topic on pet peeves in music videos.
It's like they're playing and they're looking all cool, but there's nothing plugged into it, and it's like it kills the illusion. Yes,
definitely agree. Definitely agree with that. Dean, the bin, Russia. We covered this. I'd say put Putin more than Russia in the bin, but we'll see what happens over the next however long this is going to go for.
And Russian oligarchs.
Yeah, all them too. What else we got here? Marco's gone, well, the fat fuck is at least round, so there we go. Jesus Christ, it's getting nasty in the comments now. Nick's gone, and it was a remainder like clarifying who I was, what I was specifying about the clips. Nicole says Palmer lives on the Gold Coast and they got hammered as well, so yeah, that's true as well. Hate that too, Tim. Dean, that was I forget what you were saying at that point in time. Sorry. Yes, yeah, because Nick said that. I hate the unplugged as well. So yeah, there we go. All righty, meant Tim. Yep, cool. All right, so I think that's it. I think we'll take the opportunity to get out while we can. It's a bit of a longer show tonight, which is Awesome. Thank you all so much for sticking with us tonight. A lot of people stay with us from start to finish, which is fantastic. We've got a lot in this conversation. So thank you all for sticking with us. Please do check out the Patreon page. I don't personally like banging on about it, but it makes my life a lot easier if I can get more happening in that regard. So please do check it out. Any help you can give us there as well. Oh, here we go. Andrew, quickly. Craig Kelly, Palmer's puppet. Yes, and for all the conspiracy quacks that want to complain about, the child pornography rings, Craig Kelly fucking protected one of his guys that has been now charged with child sex offense kind of issues. So and stalking of women. So there you go. The Palmer United Party is a dud, but we'll leave that alone for now. Roy said, missed it. Don't worry, Roy, it doesn't go away. So whenever you're ready, you can catch up on Facebook and YouTube. It stays there all the time. We don't delete these.
Oh, yeah, man. We don't go away, unfortunately.
No, we don't go away. We like to hang around like a very bad smell. So you can make sure if you missed this one now, if you're checking it out, not live, it's there. It's on audio. It's on video. You can check it out whenever you want. So just because you didn't tune in live doesn't mean you can't watch it. So just watch it. Give us your thoughts when you can. We look forward to hearing from everyone as well. Nicole is saying, stay safe all. Thanks for spreading the music, guys. You're most welcome, and stay safe up there. Please look after yourself first and foremost and those around you because, it's trying times, but hopefully it's starting to settle down up there as well. Sally's gone, thanks, guys. Awesome. Good to see you all. But I think that's it. Unless you guys have anything else you wanted to add quickly before we get out of here?
No, I think we're good.
Nah. All right. Cool. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you all again on Thursday night. But until then, I'm Andrew.
Tim.
Dave.
As always,
drink up.
Rock on.